Hello friends. This is the Ani Fanfics. How are you all? So we are back with an amazing movie on, what if Naruto had the Asgardian Ninetails? Here's a summary. Naruto crashes into Asgardian due to an unknown reason. Despite this, Naruto travels around the Marvel universe and ends up bumping into a familiar face. Will Naruto ever find happiness? But before we begin, be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now let's begin. Out of breath, a sharp pain in his stomach, and felt like he was going in and out of consciousness. These were the very feelings Naruto was experiencing after the Ninetails was pulled out of him by Madara Uchiha, with such a force that nearly took his breath away. Luckily, due to his mother's traits, Naruto was barely breathing as he tried to think about the events that transpired during his years and the moment he felt he was on a thin line between life and death. Along the way, Gaara was carrying both Naruto and Bee, whom he had found near Naruto, who was suffering from the same fate. Gaara was speeding along trying to get them both to safety. Even Gaara felt they were outmatched and there was no possible way to win, but held on to whatever hope there was left. He needed to get to Sakura. She was the only one who can heal both Naruto and Bee. Gaara was watching his fellow shinobi be taken down by Madara so quickly. He felt a fire-based jutsu hit him in the back and destroyed his sand cloud. "Where do you think you are going?" Madara barked. "I don't believe I was done with you three yet. I don't want you being alive to reclaim your tailed beast." Gaara groaned as he didn't have much strength in him after being hit with such an attack. His back was revealed as scars of second-degree burns were clearly shown. Bee was too weak from the tailed beast being ripped from him to even move or get up. Naruto was laying on a rock feeling weak as he used most of his energy to fight Madara. He gazed at Madara, as the only thing he could think of was fighting Madara head-on. Yet, this was useless as Naruto knew Madara would just knock him back down to the ground in a matter of seconds. "Pitiful, and I thought for a moment you were a worthy opponent, Naruto Uzumaki." Madara spoke as he was about to punch him in the face with a killer blow. Suddenly, inches from hitting Naruto in the face, Madara flew back sensing a blue light hitting around where Naruto, Bee, and Gaara were laying. Everyone wanted to know where this blue light came from and what's it doing to the three ninja that was slowly leaving their word. Madara was enraged as he wasn't done with them as he tried to hit them with a number of techniques. Everyone in the shinobi army including Sakura and Sasuke were all wondering the same thing. Where are they going? Bee was the first to disappear from their eyes, next Gaara. Madara saw Naruto fading away as he began to rush over towards him as the blue light disappeared along with Naruto. Naruto was the only one awake to see what was happening to them. They were traveling along with the blue light floating around in space. It felt like a magical experience looking around seeing other worlds. A part of him felt glad that the blue light has saved his life from death. However, he felt his world was still in danger from the likes of Madara Uchiha and wanted some answers as he felt the light taking him and his friends into unknown territory. Naruto and company fell out of where the blue light had taken then as a couple of guards wearing strange clothing laid around them. They didn't know what to do as a person walked into the room. "Heimdall, what happened? Who are these strange intruders?" one of the guards spoke out. "It doesn't matter. What is important is that we take them to the palace to allow them to heal and restore themselves," Heimdall answered before the guards then picked up Naruto, Gaara and Bee and took them straight into the palace. In the lair of a blonde-haired Asgardian witch, she slumbered in her bed clinging onto the blankets. Her sleep pattern was disturbed by the use of the Bifrost. "Ah," she screams as she woke up from her supposed dream. This caused the attention of her bodyguard who only looked at her. "It's nothing, executioner, just another dream again," she ordered him to leave as she looked out the window. Imora the enchantress had a strange dream about her beloved thunder god. They were having a lovely dinner when he transformed into a different person and then back to Thor again. She wasn't sure what was causing this change. Yet, it doesn't matter as nothing in the world should ever change the way she feels about Thor. She needed her beauty sleep to plot more plans to force Thor to like her. She couldn't help but feel a presence in her past was about to confront her, but she shook her head feeling none the wiser about it. In the realm of Niflheim, Hela was watching the mortals of Midgard.
She has claimed souls of all kind of beings, humans, Asgardians and even a few frost giants. She has a collection of souls to watch over, yet she felt unsatisfied as if she was missing something. However, this confused her as she was a watcher of souls. She did not care for companionship, or being in love as the pathetic mortals of Midgard would put it. The only enjoyment she ever liked was when a million souls would flood down to her realm.
However, something was missing from Hela's life. Something that everyone else had but her. She shook it off as she waved away her viewing portal and rubbed her eyes with her fingers, trying to relax herself as the portal opened to another place within Asgard as it caught her watchful eyes. Well, Odin, who has you brought for me this time? She gave a devious smirk while looking at the three men that were placed on the beds to heal in. I do suppose I would rather have a good look at them. She brought an image of herself long after everyone had left. Hela walked over to B as she gave a simple smile. This one looks too weak. How he is alive, I will never know. She went over to the red-haired boy as she gracefully touched his head and smirked. This one looks dead enough, yet his face tells me otherwise. She went over to the last one as the boy looked ordinary enough. Unlike the last two, she could tell he was alive and kicking, which was disappointing for her. She touched his face like the last two, but only she felt something about him that made her close her eyes for a moment and an evil grin when she opened it. I see. Well, Mr. Naruto Uzumaki, I have big plans for you. I will be sure to keep both of my eyes on you. She vanishes as a chuckle escaped her lips. Naruto tossed and turned as he had the strangest feeling he was going to wake up in a strange new world. Naruto tossed and turned on the bed as beads of sweat ran down his forehead. He struggles to remain asleep as he was reliving his nightmares as he suddenly lifted himself up, opening his eyes. Ah, he screamed, waking up, looking around, feeling in a strange place. He began to look at the room he was in. It didn't look at all like the battlefield he would usually wake up to. He saw Gaara and B in the bed. He jumped off his and shook his comrades to wake up. Ah, come on you guys, now's not the time to be laying down on the job, he cried out. He sighed. He found his clothes on a chair and changed in such a flash that would rival his own father. Naruto had a plan. One was to escape from this place. Two was to find out where he was at. With that in mind, Naruto flew out of the room, seeing many strange people in costumes he doesn't recognize. Hey, you stop! A guard was running towards Naruto. He wasn't sure if the guard was friendly or an enemy. Without a thought, Naruto ran away as he found himself being chased by more guards. The boy is awake, warn the All-Father, one of the guards said. Naruto was fantasized by the way the city looked, yet he needed to focus on where he needed to go. He then looked by at the guards as he couldn't think straight. Multiple shadow clone. Naruto shouted as 100 clones came from behind him and sending them to battle the guards while the real one looked out to a bridge. There's my ticket out of here, he smiled as he leapt down and rushes himself over to where he saw the bridge. Naruto dashes away, seeing it would take him about 10 minutes to reach wherever this bridge was going to take him. However, Naruto stops his current speed as he saw 3 warriors staring at him in the face. One of them was larger than the other two, the one on his right a hairstyle that even Sasuke would make fun of. The one on the left looked like a pirate from those stories he read as a kid. Now, look here, the one on the right said, if you surrender now, no harm will come to thee. Yes, just lay down thy anger and come with us, the one in the middle spoke. Yea, and if I don't? Naruto glared at each of them. Oh, I think you will want to take our advice, the one on the left spoke while glaring at Naruto back. The 3 then proceeded to charge at Naruto while Naruto had pulled his hands together to disappear. The 3 were shocked at the sorcery that the blonde-haired kid pulled. The quiet winds of Asgard wouldn't last long as they heard his voice again. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Rasengan, Naruto shouted, seeing 3 of his clones appearing behind the warrior 3 as each of them were hit by his blue spiraling balls. Each of the warrior 3 flew from where they were at, and the 3 Naruto decided to match them, in case if they got up.
Naruto smiled as he was prepared to make it to the entrance. Something had stopped him, something that was large, hard, and that hit him square in the face. The object had flew Naruto from the exit of the Rainbow Bridge, all the wall into the entrance of the bridge. Naruto tried to get up, but he was exhausted. Before he fainted, Naruto looked at the appearance of a blonde-haired man with a red cape rushing to the 3 friends that Naruto had attacked earlier.
Naruto's eyes opened as he stared upon a palace as he sees everywhere there was gold. He wasn't too surprised as he saw the blonde-haired man with the hammer looking at him. He then looked at an elderly man upon of a large kingly throne. Naruto assumed he was the one in charge. Who are you? Where am I? Naruto shouted like a crazy person feeling afraid. Thou shall hold thy tongue. Do you know who you speak? The man with the hammer glared at him. Yay, and I am apparently speaking to a guy who wears his mother's drapes, Naruto snickers. The man with the hammer was about to strike Naruto for that harsh comment. Odin looked at him. Thor, that is enough, Odin spoke and Thor stopped himself. Pleases, tell me what is this place? What am I doing here? What is going on? Naruto pleaded for some answers.
I know you and your two friends arrived here from the Bifrost, Odin said pointing to the outside bridge. I do not know why it grabbed you three, nor do I know for what purpose.
Oh, could it send me back to my world? Naruto looked at him. My world is currently facing a threat where they need me for. Odin sighed, wishing to spare Naruto of all truth and anguish. However, Odin had to speak of him for he wanted answer. My boy, there is no easy way of saying this. Your world has been destroyed. The one you call Madara Uchiha destroyed the world when you vanished from thin air. There was no way of saving everyone from that world. Odin looked down, seeing what his words had costed Naruto. No, no, Naruto repeated as he couldn't accept the words that Odin had said to him. Deny it all you want. Either one way or another, your world is gone, Odin said. My child, it is not your fault. You mustn't blame yourself for it. The woman sat next to him, comforting him with her words. They felt as calming as his own mother. Naruto looked at her and smiled. Thank you. Naruto looked down. If you need me, I will be outside. Naruto walked away as he forgotten that his hands were bound together. Naruto stared out into the sky, looking at how beautiful this city of Asgard was. Despite not being his fault, Naruto still felt responsible. That he could have done more to save his friends and family. Why did he feel so useless? I hope you are all right. A voice spooked Naruto as he turned to see a dark-haired young woman greeting him. I am. Just taking in a lot of things as of this moment. Naruto smiled, looking at her.
I am the Lady Sif, she spoke out. That's a nice name, Sif. Naruto smiled as he felt her suddenly grabbing him.
Don't call me just that name. I have earned the title of lady and I desire that respect, she glared at him. Sorry about that, Naruto chuckled, not wanting to get beat up a girl who resembled Sakura's own rage. So, you've lost your world. I am sorry about that, Sif looked at Naruto, who seemed to feel a little better. It's okay. I guess these things happen for a reason. Naruto looked down as Sif gave him a smile. Things don't go the way you plan, but it leaves more for the unexpected, she smiled as she saw someone approaching them. Thor looks at Naruto. How does thou feel? Thor asked Naruto, curious about his state of health. A little shaken up, but it won't go away easy, Naruto replied in a sad tone. Good. I have a place for you to stay until your friends recover. Thor smiled as he and Naruto went off to the Rainbow Bridge. He and Thor were making their way to Midgard. What's a Midgard? Naruto looks at Thor. It is one of the 9 realms of this universe. They are simple humans, much like you. However, they cannot do the same things as you can, Thor said, moving with Naruto to Earth. Oh, okay, Naruto replied. Naruto and Thor's journey was short-lived as Thor checked his pocket, seeing his card light up. A female's voice spoke from the card. Hey Goldilocks. The Masters of Evil are back and are trying to divide us, the woman spoke. We got the executioner and the enchantress robbing a bank. I will be there soon, Wasp. Thor spoke, putting his card away. The executioner and the enchantress? Naruto questioned Thor. I will explain on the way. Let us go, onward to battle. Thor spoke, carrying Naruto with him to where the Wasp was. Why does Zemo insist on these useless items of value? The enchantress spoke, shook her head in distaste. The executioner was putting 2 bags of pure gold into the portal as he was suddenly hit by 3 lights. He turned around, seeing a woman had given her position away. That wasn't a smart idea, Wasp spoke before seeing the executioner rush towards her. Go have fun, Enchantress said. As sudden as it was, Thor managed to arrive on time by shooting through one side of the bank, to ram into the executioner, and take him with to the other side. Naruto dropped down when he was inside the building. Well, that was unexpected, Wasp spoke, seeing a blonde-haired kid rushing towards her. Hi there, I am Naruto. I am a friend of Thor, he spoke, looking up, seeing her drop her wings to talk to him. Oh, that's good. I am Wasp, but now is not the time to talk, she said. We need to stop Madame Von Sorceress over there. I can do that, you help Thor, Naruto said as he thought. Wow, she really sounds familiar. Rushing over towards the enchantress, Naruto made sure to dodge most of her attacks. Thor warned him about her cleverness and her skills with magic. "You're a fast one, aren't you?" Enchantress smirked, trying to blast Naruto. "You haven't seen anything yet. Shadow clone." Naruto made about 2 of them that held her arms together, while the real one was about to land a hit on her. "Rasengan." Naruto spoke before seeing his clones disperse due to her blasting them with her magic, and looked up to Naruto. Boom! The loud crash was made, but yet it was due to Naruto landing in front of her. His Rasengan stopped as he had looked upon her eyes, as if an invisible shield had prevented him from hitting her. Likewise, the enchantress stopped her assault to look upon the stranger that was staring right back at her. Never such wonder enter her malevolent heart. Their eyes locked in like a guy with a girl during a dinner date. Nothing but complete wonder and curiosity entered their minds. Wasp had seen what had happened, but before she could react, Thor was tossed in her direction as the executioner had entered from the past that he had been tossed into. He picked up his axe, seeing Naruto and his love in lock with one another. The executioner growled. Suddenly, Naruto fell down as the butt of the executioner's axe was enough to knock Naruto back into unconsciousness. The enchantress held her head. What happened?" The executioner pointed towards the boy, wondering if the boy knew magic as well. They then saw Thor and Wasp getting up from their injuries as the enchantress smirked. "It has been fun, my dears, but we must be on our way." Enchantress spoke in an evil laugh. For a moment, she looked at the young boy who had enchanted her with such eyes. Her hesitation was making it difficult for her. "Executioner, take that one with us. He might be useful for Zemo's plans." Enchantress barked her orders at him. At first he resisted, but with proper motivation he picked up the boy. Enchantress used her magic before Thor or Wasp could get to them. "No, Imora, don't take him." Thor tried to stop her, but it was too late. They were gone like a puff of smoke. Thor felt ashamed that Naruto got taken away. Wasp floated next to him as she looked at Thor. "Thor, who was that guy?" Wasp asked him. "I will explain to you and the other when I has the chance." Thor spoke out. Who knows what horrors the enchantress will do to him? The enchantress and the executioner arrived in her clambers as the executioner threw him on her bed. "There we go," she said. She made a portal as he looks at her. "Go, tell Zemo I might be a little bit late." Executioner complied with her as he went through the portal. The enchantress only stared at the boy who had locked eyes with her when they were in battle. Thor was the only person that she would never try to hurt or kill. So, why was this mortal different? She walked right towards him as his body turned to face her. To her horror, the memory of the boy returned to her. "It can't be," she said, shocked at her recent discovery. She looked back towards her portal and sighed. "Well, I better prepare to meet Zemo." "This isn't over," Enchantress said, looking down at the boy from her past. With that, she took her leave into the portal. Naruto had opened his eyes upon waking up in the lair of the Enchantress. He wasn't sure which part of the world her realm was in. A part of it felt like it was near Asgard. However, Naruto was still a stranger in this foreign world. He felt very light-headed upon trying to remember the events of the last few hours. "Oh yay," he thought as he stared around the contents of the Enchantress's bedroom. From the silk bed he was laying on, to the metallic doors he was staring across from. Naruto had the uneasy feeling ever since he arrived in her lair. Naruto thought he had recognized her from somewhere, but he wasn't sure what that was exactly. Naruto shook this off as he needed to find a way back to Earth. He had gotten up from the bed only to realize his clothing was missing. He looked down to see that he was stripped to the nude. He had grabbed her blanket and tried to find something small to cover his lower half of his body until he could find his clothing. Luckily, Naruto found a small towel that he wrapped around the lower part of his body. Although, it went around him and only covered half of his thigh, yet it was okay for Naruto to move around in. He went up to the metal doors and opened it very gently. Upon his first glimpse, he saw a familiar face glaring at him. He quickly closed the door, fearing the axe-wielding Asgardian who had hit him with the butt of his head. He wasn't sure where to exit at. Suddenly, Naruto hears a faint hum coming from the not fully closed bathroom. He could see the smoke emanating from the crack of the door. Naruto had to take his chances, hoping to find a door out of her lair. Upon entering the bathroom, Naruto took the notice of the rocks that surrounded the large pool of water, which he looked upon. He saw the door from where he was kneeling at. It was just a 5-minute walk. There was one small problem. He saw the backside of the woman that had captured him. He wasn't sure if she was looking or not, but he didn't want to take the chance of her seeing him escape from her bathroom. The whole area was large enough to have a giant pool party. Naruto even felt the steam that was around the bathroom. Naruto had to be quick as he saw her dive into the water. Using the rocks, Naruto was sure not to be found by the blonde-haired Asgardian spellcaster. Naruto had stepped on a pebble and covered his mouth to avoid the pain he had felt. Suddenly, rising from the water, Naruto had freaked when he had saw her whole body from the front angle this time. Her eyes were closed because of the water from her face. Naruto had gazed upon her body that water was running down. Naruto's mind was leaving a lot of possibilities to imagine. How he wanted to touch it, firmly grasp her butt, have her touch his body, make her body his, and even more vigor thoughts as to have his way with his captor. This left Naruto shaking his head. What am I thinking? She just captured me and now I am having these thoughts. What is wrong with me? Naruto looked to the door and ran towards it. However, this was blocked by a green wall that had lit in front of Naruto's face. Naruto's crash seemed small but enough to hurt his face. Naruto faced back to the enchantress who had stepped out of the water with her hair dripping. I see you are awake. She looked at him. Look, I don't know what you want from me, but I would rather you finish me now than to tell you anything, Naruto answered. He had realized that the enchantress wasn't wearing a towel or robe when she got out of the water and had to keep his eyes glued to her face and avoid lowering them for just a minute. What is wrong, boy? Do you not like what I see? Enchantress offered a flirty grin. No, I don't, and I think you should put something on. Naruto faced her eyes, still avoiding to look down. Or maybe you should take something off. The enchantress used her magic to strip off Naruto's only means of clothing. Naruto had tried his best to cover his lower half with his hands. It is nothing to be ashamed of, my dear, the enchantress smirked. The enchantress took quick notice of Naruto's build body. Although, it wasn't like Thor's, Naruto ran second place in her book. The enchantress then looked at Naruto. Why so ashamed? The enchantress smiled wickedly. Look, I don't even know you. So, stop trying to flirt with me, lady. Naruto looked at her. The enchantress stood there looking at the blonde and gave one big smirk. If thee doesn't like me at all, then why are thee getting a reaction from me? The enchantress chuckled as Naruto growled a little, knowing that she was right. Naruto went through the door only to end up back in her bedroom. Naruto looked back only to get hit with a blast from her magic. Look, it isn't like I want you to be here. You were just an inconvenience, Naruto. The enchantress had crossed her arms. Naruto had gotten up from her blast only to realize something. You called me Naruto. How do you know me? I don't remember you at all. Naruto looked at her. Actually, we have met before one time. I wouldn't think due to Odin's intervention, you would remember me as I am remembering you, the enchantress said. Well, I don't know you, enchantress, and I think you are lying, Naruto said, looking around for an exit. Imura, my name is Imura, Imura told him, let me show you. She glided herself to Naruto as she held his head with her hands. She used her magic to let Naruto see the memory that she is going to show him. 10 years ago, a portal materialized in the alley of the Konoha. Upon exiting the green portal, a blonde-haired witch came from that portal as a wicked smirk left her mouth. Good. Now let's see if I can find a place to practice my magic, she smiled, yet a growl from her stomach told her a different story. Who knew dimension travel would leave you hungry? Imura, as some people had called her, was very hungry and wasn't sure what to eat. She didn't have any money on her. She often heard about thieves and how they got everything by taking without asking. Imura then saw an apple rack near one of the venue. She saw the price that the apples were worth. 12 yen for a stinkin' apple, that's outrageous, she told herself as she decided to take the apple by force. However, this was easier said than done when instead of one apple, all the apples came flying down on her head. Free apples, a child said. You are going to pay for that, the store owner said, glaring at Imura. Damn, she said before running away. Imura didn't want to be caught by the store owner. She felt if she was cash, people would be asking too many questions and the dimensions of her world in this new world would be an endless war with no end. As much as she would like that to happen, Imura couldn't let that happen. Hoping to lose the store owner, Imura tried to run to the other side, only to bump into a blonde-haired boy that was similar to her, only in age. Imura irritated by the boy's lack of speed. Move, mortal. She rushes past him. Naruto had dusted himself off, only to be run over by the store owner, who had tripped on the young man. Watch where you are going, you demon fox boy. The owner picked himself up and rushes towards the girl. Naruto had glared out to both of them and sighed. Imura had hid in a park hoping she had lost the pursuing store owner. She managed to get out of the garbage bin, which she hid in. However, the store owner grabbed her hand. Ow, let me go, Imura cried out. You are coming with me. You will see what the Hokage has to say about this, the store owner told her. Imura was afraid that this Hokage might ask a lot of questions about her and her world. She couldn't take that chance. She had summoned a green ball and tended to strike the old geezer down. But she didn't need to waste her magic as the store owner had been hit with a trap that set off a log to his stomach. This caused him to fall into a tree and hit his head on it. Imura was lucky that she was small or she would have had the same fate. She looked around only to find the blonde-haired boy she had bumped into, in front of her. You, Imura said to him. Thank you would be nice, Naruto looked at her. I don't care what you have to say to me, why were you following me, Imura interrogated. No reason. I thought you were in trouble, so I came to help, Naruto told her. This caused Imura to question his methods. She looked at the owner and then back at Naruto. Thank you mortal, but I require your assistance no longer. Imura was about to leave when something in her stopped. She felt really glad the boy saved her. She looked back at him for just a moment. It was within that moment she wanted to know more. Hey, we better get out of here, Naruto told her. Why? Imura raised a brow. That hit to the hit won't last very long. We need to leave before he gets the chance to get up. Naruto grabbed her hand and rushes out hoping to escape from the store owner. As Naruto and Imura travel back to Naruto's little hideout, Imura bit her lip. She was unsure of what to say to the boy with the whiskers-like markings on his face. What's your name? Imura asked the boy. What? Naruto gave his reply. I can't thank you properly if you don't have a name, Imura smiled. Naruto Uzumaki, but most people call me Naruto, Naruto smiled back. My name is Imura and someday I will become an enchantress, she told him. That's a pretty name, but enchantress sounds something wicked. I love the name Imura, Naruto chuckled. Imura herself was touched by this. No one in Asgard had given her comment to that degree. What was this feeling deep inside her? Was it something that she read in storybooks? Was it something more? Whatever the case, she smiled at the blonde-haired boy that was completely carefree. A good week has passed and already Imura had waked up in that clubhouse Naruto built for himself. She understood that Naruto did not prepare for someone like her to stay there. Naruto was such a gentleman and a true friend, unlike anyone she has ever seen. However, her heart beated for the demon fox boy that the village had named him. She never understood why they kept calling him that, though it would partially explain the sinister intentions his stomach had. That rivaled the demon Surtur.
She came to the very conclusion that she was in love with Naruto. After getting to know him for just the week, he was her champion, her protector, her warmth, her day and night. Imura couldn't let the overfilling feelings rest anymore. She needed to tell him. She stood on her knees and a light green ring changed her PJs into her green Asgardian attire as she stepped down to find the boy known as Naruto. She had looked everywhere until she felt a familiar set of hands covering her eyes. Naruto, if this is what you call a trick, then I know it's you, she giggled as an apple was thrown to her as they both had met on a rooftop to discuss the day. It's beautiful, right? Naruto smiled. Oh yes. This sunlight is beyond beautiful in your world. No wonder why you mortals treasure each day. Imura turned to Naruto, who wasn't looking at the sun. Oh, you meant me. Her blush was clearly obvious as she tried to talk some sense into him. So, Naruto, there is something I need to tell you, something very important. Imura stared at him, readying her heart for whatever his reaction is. Yes, Imura, Naruto smiled back as he chuckled a little bit. Imura said before she could ever tell him, a being stepped out of the portal. He was quite old and looked like a powerful Viking. Naruto stood up ready to fight him, while Imura shivered with fright as she knew who the guy was. Imura, if you are quite done, it is time to leave this realm. You have spent too much time here, the voice called to her. I don't know who you are, bucko, but if you want Imura, then you have to go through me, Naruto told him. Odin had looked at the boy as he lifted him up and his energy poured to him. You will forget this woman and all that she told you of our world. Ah, Naruto cried out. Imura felt frightened that the All-Father was harming her crush. She rushes over to stop him. As for you, she lifted it up, you are coming back right now. Naruto was dropped as his mind was coming closer to unconsciousness.
He looked upon Imura, who was screaming for Naruto. "Don't forget me," she screamed as she and Odin left through the portal.
Odin held Imura doing the same thing he did to Naruto, yet she knew what Odin was up to. She held her tongue trying to keep the memories of her former lover contained. However, it was becoming distorted more and more as they kept passing through the long portal. It was until they arrived on Asgard that Imura held her head. She wanted to fight Odin's spell. This was more than she could handle, as the only thing she could remember was the blonde hair.
Suddenly, two children came up to Odin. "Father, look what Odin has done to my hair, he has cut most of it off," Thor told his father as his hair was short and spiky. "Mother told me to cut his hair." Loki snickered. Imura stared at Thor, and whatever scrap of memory filled the void of her lost love. Thor ran off as Imura stared at her champion with such content. Naruto had not noticed that the enchantress had dressed them while she shared her vision of the past. "Now, you know my love," Imura smiled. "I can't believe it." Naruto looked at her. "How am I supposed to believe you? Even if you supposedly did end up in my realm." Through this, Imura told him before she lunged her face towards his face. Naruto tried to break out of the kiss, yet the kiss felt a mixture of warmth and comfort. He began to remember the events that Imura foretold. Thor had warned him about her crafts, yet he didn't sense a lie in her words. He needed to understand. "Imura, answer me this. Why did you become like this?" Naruto looked at her. Surprised at the sudden question, Imura backed off. Naruto wanted to understand why she changed so much. "Imura, don't avoid my question. Why were you robbing banks? Don't you know that's bad? Please just tell me why." Naruto tried to confront the Asgardian blonde about her sudden switch of sides. "Naruto, pleases I," Imura said before Naruto grabbed her wrists as she was being overwhelmed by her. "Pleases? What happened to the witch that told me fun stories of this world?" Naruto smiled. "Witch? How dare he call me such a foul, revolting, and degrading name? She was much more than a simply witch." Her anger and her overwhelming emotions got the best of her. "Ah!" she screamed, causing the executioner to come rushing in. Imura summoned a portal as Naruto looked at her as the executioner kicked Naruto through the portal. Imura held her. She closed the portal as the overwhelming thought of his questions. Unfortunately, for Naruto, the portal materialized in the sky of New York, which sent Naruto flying out of the sky. "Ah!" he screamed as he tried to find a way down from the sky.
However, Naruto didn't realize he was found by a familiar Asgardian Avenger. He was flying around that day and realized Naruto had been found. Naruto suddenly dropped into the arms of the Thunder God as Naruto looked at him. "Naruto." Thor looked at him. What an unexpected return.
"Look, if you can bring me back to your home, we need a lot to talk about," Naruto told him. "Sure. Of course," Thor said. "Another thing can we not mention anything to your friends about this whole sky incident?" Naruto said, feeling awkward of being in the arms of the Thunder God. "Of course." Thor raised a brow at Naruto as they approached the Avengers' mansion.
Naruto had placed himself in a room inside the Avengers' mansion, while Thor talked with the rest of the Avengers about the young man that was to be their guest. Wasp knew little of what Thor told her about Naruto. The rest met in the Avengers' meeting room to discuss more of Naruto. Naruto told them that he would stay in his room as he had more pressing matters to deal with. He had just lost his home world. Odin had told him more of what happened. What Madara did, the sacrifice of the tailed beasts, how they were inspired by Naruto to defend the planet by whatever means necessary. Unfortunately, this resulted in Naruto losing more than just his friends. Naruto could have saved them if Odin hadn't used the Bifrost to send him, Gaara, and beat Asgard.
Naruto sat by the window as he looked out, seeing the strange world that he currently dwells in.
His mind began to wander back into the lair of the Enchantress. Were they really friends in the past? Naruto then remembered back when she took him back to his own world. All the friends he made, all the fights he had been in. Were they all a waste of time? Naruto felt extremely guilty for leaving behind the friends that he had lost and were now dead. Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, Guy, Kurama, Tsunade, and so many others that Naruto had left behind during that time. He stood in the room for weeks on end as he occasionally asked Thor upon the status of Gaara and B. He was grieving on the friends that he had lost, yet he also had to remember that he had those two as remnants of the world he had before. Yet, He will always blame himself for what he could have done to stop Madara from destroying the world. It had been 1 month since Naruto had dropped from the portal in this place called New York City. It was such a strange place and more different than the Konoha. He managed to get some shopping done for supplies for him to use in battle and clothes to wear since he only wore his usual garb when he got to Asgard, and those clothes were becoming quite smelly.
Due to Thor's friendship, he was able to meet the rest of the Avengers. He and the green monster known as Hulk didn't see eye to eye at first. Hulk seemed more like a bully than a friend. However, Naruto got used to him and pretty soon they became good friends. This doesn't mean Hulk didn't him Naruto from time to time. Hawkeye seemed like a pretty cool dude. Reminded him of Shikamaru with his laid-back nature, but was about to fight and combat just about anyone. Hawkeye offered to give Naruto lessons, whenever he was in the mood. Naruto felt awkward about using a bow and arrow in battle. So, he stuck with his kunai for the moment. Although, he already met her, Wasp seemed like the sister that always wanted to be in other people's businesses.
However, the way she talked reminded him of Ino, Sakura's friend, as this made Naruto more saddened by his homeworld being destroyed. Could he tell Wasp about his friends? How he had abandoned them? How he was forced on leaving them behind? He regretted what he did so much that it was tearing him apart, piece by piece. How it was his entire fault and he couldn't do anything to atone for it. He buried his head in his knees feeling ashamed of himself.
"You okay there, soldier?" A voice called to him. Naruto raised his head and saw the red, white, and blue Avenger sitting next to him with his shield on his back. "You must be Captain America," Naruto asked. "And you must be Naruto." Captain America smiled at him, shaking his hand. Cap and Naruto looked to one another as they stared out into the night sky. Naruto let out a breath of angst that Captain America soon noticed. "It must be rough," Cap said, "adapting into a world in which you don't fully understand." "Like you would understand." Naruto shook his head. "Actually I do." Captain America looked to him. Naruto looked at the red, white, and blue costume wearing superhero. He stood up and looked at the moonlight.
"I know that because we are the same. We come from different worlds. However, I came from this world's past, fighting in a war for the fate of this world. There was even a time that I thought I wouldn't make it, but I fought on," Captain America said, telling Naruto of his experiences in World War II and the time beyond it. "When I woke up, I found that the war was over and we were at peace. All the friends and family I had during those times are long since dead, some dead in combat while others have lived their lives to the fullest. It was hard for me to adapt to such a situation." Naruto looked up as he had heard that he was frozen in ice and that he thought it was just a joke. However, he looked at Captain as he certainly had the mind experience of someone being 90 years old. Naruto began to sympathy hearing about Captain America's situation. It was almost like his. He looked down wondering what to think. What should he do? "Naruto, I know you must be blaming yourself for what happened to your home. It isn't your fault." Captain gave him a stern look. "I could have done more." Naruto got up. "You did what you could for that world. Naruto, you may see what happened as an accident, however maybe it was a sign of things to come. A chance to make up for those mistakes you made. Also, you may think that your friends are gone, but they are still with you," Captain America told the young ninja. Naruto at first wanted to yell back at him, yet he knew the captain made a sharp point. Despite them being dead, Naruto still felt his friends close to his heart. Their souls were watching over him as he closed his eyes, still remembering them. This gave Naruto a smile. "Well, it's time I get to sleep. Tomorrow will be a great day." Captain extended his hand, only to get a hug from the blonde-haired shinobi. "Thanks, Cap." Naruto smiled and nodded as Captain America went inside. Naruto looked up at the sky and decided to return inside himself. He looked at the ceiling as his mind was set on one person, Amora. Naruto had been captured by her charms. Such a captivating woman. Naruto smiled as he shook his head, wondering why she was still in his mind. He watched his body react to his thoughts of her as he quickly covered himself with the blanket. He wanted to embrace her and fill her with all of his love. However, that was hard to do as he wasn't exactly alone in the mansion and the others would hear his pleasures, even if he attempted to do such an act. Thor had told him that Amora was a temptress that didn't have any real emotions at all. She pretended to have them to trick men into doing whatever she wanted them to do. Naruto didn't think she was lying. Maybe she was lying to herself and all that she ever wanted was someone to love her and connect with her. That is what he was going to do.
He loved her as much as Thor loves Jane Foster. His memories of her were going back to him. He closed his eyes and dreamt that he was at her chambers and he was making out with her as their naked bodies clashed with one another. He was ready to pour his love into her in a physical way. Meanwhile, in her chambers, Amora was having the same dream as she kept moaning in her sleep, wanting and desiring the blonde-haired ninja for her own. Amora suddenly woke up from her dreams and wonders if her dream was lust or was it for love. Unknown to the two blondes, the watchful eyes of Hela smirked as she had a plan of luring Naruto to her using the love between Naruto and the enchantress. Every fiber of Naruto's being was begging the touch of the Asgardian sorcerer. Naruto woke up in a mood that could only be comforted by the desires of Amora. Naruto couldn't get enough sleep. His dreams had been filled up of the build-up desires of embracing the enchantress in such a physical way. Naruto didn't understand what he was feeling. Even though he has known her for a few days, he was developing feelings for her as if he has known her for years. Naruto flew from his bed as he realized that not only was he naked under the covers, but a particular part of his body reacted to his dreams in such a way. This made Naruto react embarrassed about it. He put on his clothes and made sure that his early morning wake-up call wasn't in full view. Naruto felt that his heart was pounding for the enchantress. He didn't know what else to say. His feelings were unclear. Did he like her, or was it just that he needed a little moment in order to understand this situation? He came downstairs looking around as the mansion was completely empty. He wondered what happened or if there was a crisis in the city. He came into the kitchen and realized it was just quiet. The two people that were in the room were Janet and Hank Pym, the Wasp and Ant-Man respectively. "Morning Naruto," Ant-Man said drinking his coffee. "Sleep well?" Janet asked. "A little bit," Naruto nods as he looks at Hank. "Here you go Janet, don't spend it all in one place," Hank ordered as he gave her a little money from his wallet. "Yay right," she snickered as she gives Hank a kiss and waving goodbye to Naruto. "So, where are the others?" Naruto asked. "They are all out on missions. Thor should be coming back pretty soon," Hank sipped in his coffee. Naruto went to get some breakfast for himself. "Tell me, what do you want to ask me?" "Oh. What?" Naruto chuckled. "Don't lie to me, Naruto. I know that look from curious observers. You can ask me anything you like." Hank was writing some notes down as Naruto sat down grabbing a glass of milk and a banana. "I am not sure. How did you know that Janet was the one you wanted to spend the rest of your life with? How did you know she was the one for you?" Naruto asked. "Well, that's a rather hard question. I guess I just knew from looking at her," Hank pondered. "Just looking at her," Naruto said. "Yes. That and spending time with her and even to the point of our first kiss. A connection developed between the two of us that we eventually fell in love because of it." Hank rubbed his chin. "Really?" Naruto said thinking about Amora and himself. "Why do you ask? Is there someone you really like?" Hank knew that even the Hulk would figure that Naruto was in love. "No, just curious," Naruto said as he finished eating his breakfast as he went out of the kitchen to run away from the situation. Hank knew Naruto was lying. He just hoped that Naruto's relationship was probably better than his. It was just the matter of who was the lucky lady. 4x Naruto was leaping through the roofs as he makes sure that he was ahead of crime in the city today. However, he stopped to learn that he was being followed. He stopped and turned around. He was relieved when he saw the God of Thunder. "Oh geez Thor, you scared me," Naruto smiled. "I am sorry, my friend. I didn't mean to startle you," Thor said. "There is a situation on Asgard that needs your dire attention." "What happened?" Naruto questioned. "Well, it seems that one of your companions has awoken," Thor smiled. "Great," Naruto smiled, but winced when he realized that one of his friends could have the same reaction he had when he first woke up. "It is your friend with the sand." Thor looked at Naruto. "We should hurry if you wish to stop him." "Oh great," Naruto sighed. The pair flew up to Asgard hoping that it was in one piece. 4x as luck should have it, Naruto and Thor saw the giant-sized sand attacking a portion of Asgard. Thor dropped Naruto down as they saw a giant monster made of sand that was destroying the city. Naruto halted the soldiers that was about to attack Gaara. "Wait. You have to let me talk to him," Naruto asked. "Why is that? Boy that looks like a fox," one of them asked. "Because I know him, he will listen to me more. Trust me on this one," Naruto pleaded. "I would listen to him if I were you," Thor nodded as the soldiers stood back. "Thanks," Naruto smiled at Thor as he was grateful for his help. Naruto rushes over to Sif and some other warriors that were standing before the sand beast. It is a real charm to see you again, Naruto, Sif smiled. I am here to help. So, mind telling me how he woke up? Naruto asked. Well, I was sort of checking on your friend as we were moving both your friends for safekeeping. Don't worry, your other one is alright and is still in the same state, Sif said while hiding something else from Naruto.
Ah, I see, Naruto said. He woke up and feared we were attacking him. So, this is the result. Sif pointed towards the large body of sand that easily dispatched some Asgardian warriors.
I got this, Naruto demanded as he moved in front of the large sand monster. Hey Gaara, it's me Naruto. Naruto? He questioned before he shrunk down. All the sand poured from his body to the gourd. The red-haired ninja looked to Naruto. Yes buddy, it's me. Naruto got a quick hug from Gaara as he was glad to see someone alive again. Where are we? Where is everyone? Gaara asked as he wasn't unknown to the fate of the ninja world. It's a long story, Naruto sighed as it wasn't going to be easy to explain to him the truth. 4x so, that is what happened, Gaara said as he couldn't believe the words that had been poured out of Naruto's mouth. That they are in another dimension, and their own world has been destroyed. I know it's a lot to take in. I am still trying to process it myself. Naruto sat with Gaara as he had to explain how this world worked with him. Naruto looks to Gaara feeling the same mixture of pain and suffering. I don't know what to do. The battle we all fought to achieve is over. What do we do now? Gaara asked as most of his family had died, but he wanted to focus on living for today and beyond that. Naruto began going over the 9 realms and how he has settled in on Midgard. However, he wasn't sure if he wanted to tell Gaara about Imura. Naruto did hold strong feelings for her, yet he wasn't sure if Gaara should know about her. Meanwhile, there she goes again. Some soldiers passed by Sif, who was growling in anger over what happened. She went into the hospital to check on the 2 other worlders, when she merely brushed the red-haired one.
1 minute she kept thinking of Thor and how much he cares for the one known as Jane Foster, the next minute the red-haired one was in her mind. She wanted to ask Naruto about him, yet she had to uphold her status as the strongest woman in Asgard. She sat outside the balcony of the hospital pacing around. She wasn't sure what was wrong with her. She didn't notice that someone watched her ramble on and on. She felt a tap on her shoulder, which only made her summon her sword to battle. However, she saw the one named Gaara take out his sand in defense. Both realized their mistake and pulled back their weapons. I am sorry. I did not expect thee to awaken again, Sif apologized. It's not your fault, it was mine. Naruto caught me up to speed on what happened. Gaara hesitated as he looked at her. Both Gaara and Sif sat down as they felt nervous for a particular reason that was unknown to them. Sif wanted to know why she felt this nervous. She has talked to men before. Yet, why was this mortal so different? She now understood the way Thor would try to talk to Jane. I guess this is sudden with me, Gaara said to vanish the awkward silence. It's strange being in this world that I am so unknown to it. It's understandable, Sif said. I may not know what you are going through, but I hope to help you like I helped your friend. Yes, Naruto did say you give the greatest advice, Gaara smiled. The ninja and the Asgardian didn't realize how close they were to one another. Both were unknown to the overwhelming feeling in their hearts. I take it, you will be journeying to Earth with Naruto and Thor, Sif sighed in sadness. This she took aghast to. She wonders why she even cared about him going. Well, I was hoping I could stay here. You have a lovely kingdom, Sif, Gaara said. Snapping out of her love gaze, Sif stood up. I am not one to be tricked by your charms. I am a female warrior and wish to be treated with respect. Gaara smiled as he stood up as he picked a small flower and floated his sandfinger holding the rose to the female Asgardian. I wouldn't have it any other way. Female ninjas from the Sand Village are just as stubborn as you are. Yet, they are also skillful as well. Sif took the rose as Gaara acknowledged her skills. Her face was red as no man in Asgard except Thor, and the Warrior 3 acknowledged her skills as a female fighter. She looked to Gaara and smiles in happiness. Crash. Gaara and Sif looked out seeing an attack on Asgard was happening. Both looked to one another as they marched along together as they were prepared to fight whatever creature they were going to face. Along the way they bumped into the blonde-haired ninja. Hey, you guys, what's going on? Naruto asked. There's an attack on Asgard that we need to move post-haste, Sif announced as she ran ahead of the 2 ninjas. Gaara attempted to catch up as he got a smirk from Naruto.
This made Gaara very confused. What's up? Well, you were outside for a long time with her. Naruto smirked more as he saw the pair between Gaara and Sif. I don't know what you were talking about. She is a companion, Gaara denied. Oh sure. Deny your feelings for her. I know you like her, Naruto smiled. Don't mention anything to her. He glares at Naruto and formed a finger ordering him to silence his tongue about what was mentioned. Sure. Naruto chuckles as he and Gaara made their way into battle. Naruto overlooked what was happening on the streets of Asgard. He saw many soldiers from an unknown place coming from some portal. They were attacking the citizens. It was a losing battle for Asgard as most of its citizens were being annihilated by the strange creatures. Naruto knew he had to do something. So, he leapt down, dispatching most of the enemies at ease. They seemed like they were fallen soldiers, but he was unsure of who they were. They had a green aura to them, but he couldn't make out where they were from. Naruto looks around him, seeing some soldiers putting up a fight, but it seemed like this battle was lost. Naruto knew he had to even the odds somehow. Muptile Shadow Clone Jutsu. He roared as about 300 clones appeared from around Naruto, and each one of them made their way all around Asgard, in hopes of defending the city. The battle was changing course as it was undecided which group would come out alive. Naruto's shadow clones were changing things up as some managed to go through the portal to take on their foes from their side. Gaara and Sif soon arrived to the battle and started to use their combo skills to their advantage. The Sand Shinobi was quickly defending Sif, making sure she was immune to the enemy's range attacks. The two didn't realize how effective their combined strength was making in the battle. The Warrior 3 saw Sif quickly protecting Gaara and made giggles that made Sif send her death-like glare to them. Though, she did carry a smile with interest when it came to the Outworlder that was battling with her. 4X Meanwhile, Amora was overseeing the battle that was happening on Asgard. She wasn't sure whose army was invading, as she knew Loki wasn't planning on invading Asgard until a couple of months. So, whose army was this and why was it so familiar to her? Regardless of whom, she was worried for one particular person, Naruto. The Enchantress knew Naruto was a capable fighter, as the Executioner had trouble keeping up with Naruto's speed, strength, and agility. Despite how capable he was, Naruto was still mortal and prone to disease, fatigue, or death. This made her very worried about him. A part of her soul wanted to help him and protect him from harm. Her other half just wanted to take him out of there and leave Asgard to die. She was by herself since the Executioner was busy with the Masters of Evil on an assignment.
She looked down, seeing some clones disappearing, and kept her eyes focused on the real one. She wanted to hear his voice. She wanted to lock lips with him. She wanted to keep eye contact into his eyes. She wanted him to touch her skin and to embrace her like she was his and his alone. Plus, there were a few things she wanted him to do to her that probably would exist of either of their minds. She knew what she had to do. With her magic, she set out to do what was right in her heart.
4X Naruto was exhausted from all the fight. He was holding on to a sword and a shield as his chakra was running low. He didn't have the nine-tailed fox to boost up his energy. His sweat came down to his brow, in which he quickly wiped off. He saw some Asgardian soldiers dying left and right. Naruto knew they needed a miracle to win, or at least him at full chakra again. He was out of opinions, as he needed to protect these people. What if Asgard wasn't the place this army would stop at? What if they went to Earth to hurt the good people there? The Avengers and other teams probably wouldn't survive. His mind shifted to Amora. What if they attacked her? He glared and growled a little bit before he moved out of his hiding spot and charged at some of the enemies that were sprouting from the portal. Naruto wasn't going to let them hurt her or anyone in this world. As he grew to appreciate this world, he wasn't going to let it share the same fate as his own world. Naruto used his shield and sword to quickly dispatch the soldiers that were in the area and picked up an Asgardian weapon to shoot at them from far range. The Leaf Shinobi quickly overlooked the battle, seeing that it was over for the moment, until a few seconds later seeing more enemies sprouts from the portal. Naruto knew he was done for, as he didn't have much energy left. Before Naruto closed his eyes, he saw the portal close from behind his enemies and beams out light shot all of them. He knew the creature that shot them to be an ally than a foe. He smiles standing up before her. Hi Amora. Naruto blushes a small bit. Good evening darling. Amora smiled back. Naruto blushes seeing the Enchantress's attire, and his lower region quickly reacted to it. He groans as this wasn't the time for his body to start desiring Amora. Really? Do you have to do this now? Naruto thought to himself as he tried to look away from her. So, what are you doing here? You know if they catch you here, they will put you in jail. Relax, I am only here to defeat the enemy of my enemy. I don't need some villain taking over what I want, Amora glared. Naruto could see through her villainy as her intentions of saving him made it clear to him. Ah, you do care about me. Naruto, I swear when this is over, you own me big time for this. Enchantress looked to him. Naruto sensed what exactly she wanted as payback for doing this good deed. I guess a few hours in your chambers couldn't hurt. 4x Amora and Naruto used their combined strength to overpower the enemy. Naruto got his strength and chakra back up when Amora had arrived with a green liquid that managed to bring him back to full health. The Asgardian sorceress watched as Naruto was dispatching multiple enemies. She blasted one that was coming from his behind. Her concerns for the ninja came as a wife concerned for her husband. She looks at her ring finger wondering if there was a chance of being a wife in the future. She shook her head and focused on shutting each portal down. She made sure that the enemies wouldn't come back to Asgard. Amora, watch out. Naruto called out. The Asgardian turned her head in time as she saw a few enemies coming towards her, but Naruto managed to get her out of the way and dispatch some enemies with kunais in the meanwhile. Naruto managed to land safely on the next level while holding Amora in his arms. He looks into her eyes and locked lips with her upon placing her down. Naruto really liked Amora, but he knew he had to deal with her villainy side later on in their life. Suddenly, she broke the kiss and opened a portal for herself. Come with me, we can leave Asgard together. She extended her hand out. I can't, Amora. Why don't you come with me to talk to Thor, or Odin about this? Naruto shouted. Naruto, you know with the things I have done, that I am beyond all hope, she said. Why? I don't think you are beyond understanding, Naruto said. I know that you are good. Now, Odin and the others need to see that as well. Naruto, they will never see it. I am evil and I can't go back to this, Amora shouted back. If you were evil, then you would have left Asgard defenseless and just teleported me out of here, Naruto glared. You have saved many Asgardians. How is that evil? She heard Naruto's words but shook her head in denial. Naruto, I can't be good. It's too late for me. I don't want you to go on this path of evil, he said, blocking her path. If you were evil, I would have died long ago. You could have killed me, but I see you love me too much to see me perish. Amora blushes when he heard his words. I don't love you. Like I don't love you, he lied as he looks at her knowing what she said wasn't true. He stares into her eyes as he extends his hand. Let me help you. She saw his willingness to help and extends her hand out, but before they could make contact again. Zap. Naruto saw that she was down on the ground with an electric net around her, shocking her into unconsciousness. Instead of being rational, Naruto grabs the net and shocks himself until he lets go of it. He then saw who had staged it. Sif. What do you think you are doing? Naruto ordered. Naruto, she is still an enemy of Asgard. She was probably the one who has done this. Sif walked by passing Naruto. She faced the woman that was being held by two Asgardian soldiers. Amora the Enchantress, you are under arrest for your crimes against Asgard and its people, Sif roared to the unconscious sorceress. Take her away. Naruto knew that Amora wouldn't have done something like this. He wasn't sure if it was her or not, but something didn't feel right as he knew what it was like to be framed for a crime he didn't commit. Gaara came down seeing the ordeal as Naruto walked by him. Naruto, where are you going? Gaara ordered, I am going to have a word with Asgard's king. Naruto glared back as he wasn't going to let Amora be imprisoned by them. 4x Amora woke up seeing her arms in chains and smirks as she knew she couldn't use her magic in this cell. So, this is the thanks I get for helping out Asgard. The Enchantress knew that it wasn't Naruto's fault that she was in here. She wonders what he was up to. She looks down seeing her in prison garments as she sighed. She knew Asgard wasn't going to let her keep her dress without any concerns of weapons that could bypass their magic. However, she also sensed that the creatures that they fought was very familiar as if she encountered them before. Ah, I see that the Enchantress has returned to Asgard, a voice announced as Amora knew that voice. It can't be, Hela. Amora glared seeing the guards frozen in time as he saw Hela approaching her. It's been far too long, Asgardian, Hela smiled with a little hiss to it. What do you want? I should have known that those creatures were dead Asgardian soldiers sent by you. Amora shook her head in shame. Very perceptive, Hela did a fake clap. There is nothing on Asgard that would pique your interest, Amora called out. Oh, there is one thing I might want, Hela giggles in an evil tone. The enchantress began to think of what she wanted that was on Asgard. Odin was much too high for her. Anything in Odin's treasure room would benefit her, but she wouldn't care for it. Thor or his hammer was her next guess. There wasn't much else's besides, the Outworlders. To be more specific, I want that Outworlder that you are currently laying your eyes on, Hela smirked. Naruto, Amora whispered, bingo. Hela smiled, however, I need a bargaining chip and guess who fell into my hands. Amora feared as Hela dives her hands into Amora to take what she wanted. Soon, Naruto will come to me and I will claim what I want from him. You have got to be kidding me. Naruto crossed his arms. He was in the throne room staring at the elder Asgardian as he was hearing the same old conversation he heard from Thor concerning Amora's release. Hold thy tongue, Naruto, Thor pleaded with the young shinobi. No. I am tired of your father jerking me around like this. At least Granny Tsunade gave some freedom with some restriction. Naruto glares at Odin, which the All-Father gave it back to him. What you ask for is impossible, boy. You are asking me to risk the safety of the 9 realms just so you can be with a woman who will only use you for her own wicked deeds. Odin looks down at Naruto from his throne. I am just asking you to please release her to me. I can look after her and make sure she doesn't do anything that would endanger the world, Naruto asked. How can I hold you to that? The enchantress is a dangerous Asgardian witch, mortal. She doesn't love anyone but herself. You have seen that monstrous creature on which she calls her executioner. She used him just like she is using you. Odin looks down. If she was to use me, then most of the Night Realms would be suffering at this very minute. Amora risked her own life to save this realm and this is how you treat her. He looks up to Odin. You don't understand her like I do. It's no wonder why she deserted Asgard. How dare ye? Asgard is a safe haven that projects Asgard. Amora faces Asgardian justice. I don't need to explain myself to you, Odin said. Yea, ruled by a selfish king that doesn't care about all of his subjects, Naruto mumbled. This made the old Asgardian rise up. You shall hold thy tongue and consider yourself lucky I saved you from that dying realm of yours. At what cost? Naruto glares. Why did you save me and a few others? Why didn't you just leave my planet to die with us in it? Odin was a few seconds away from blasting Naruto into nothingness. I guess in your quest for peace, you wanted a secret weapon in which your enemies couldn't defend against. Gaara, B, and I were your guinea pigs, huh? Naruto seeing the truth behind his travels. Maybe I had other motives, but I do what is the best for the realms. Odin sat down wielding his weapon, gripping it as the blonde ninja in front of him was walking on thin ice. Says the same guy who raised a Jotun. Naruto glares as he crosses his arms. I am sure your decisions have always led to more harm than good. The better question should be how should I trust you? You say that I am untrustworthy when I shouldn't even trust you at all. Odin gripped his spear as Naruto was growing quick to anger him. I only ask for you to give me Amora, Naruto asked. Please, I love her a lot. I am not sure how love works in Asgard, but I really have strong emotions toward her. I don't care what I have to do. I will even fight you to get her out. Everyone in the room raised their eyes as Naruto looks back to Odin. Naruto knew he wouldn't last 5 minutes against Odin, but the overwhelming emotions he cared about Amora were as powerful as the Odin force itself. My heart feels unattractive for Amora that I don't understand. I have heard of all the evil deeds that she has done. That doesn't mean she should be treated like a criminal, Naruto roared. At least, let me see her. Odin looks down before he sighed. Fine, I will allow you to see your precious one, but everything she does from here on in is on your head, Naruto. I understand that and thank you. Naruto bowed. Ah, a voice was heard from the far reaches of Asgard. Naruto feared as he knew whose voice that belonged to. 4x Naruto looks around following Thor, Sif, Gaara and several Asgardian guards before Naruto saw Amora's cell. Amora. Naruto rushes in seeing that she was only unconscious. Amora, don't scare me like that. Naruto went to touch Amora, but he felt she was like a lifeless doll. Naruto touches her arms, then her feet, he even went for her stomach, but nothing worked. The shinobi was freaking out wondering what was going on. Amora, this isn't funny, tell me what's wrong. I know you are not sleeping, so tell me what is wrong. Naruto felt scared. It would seem her life force has been completely drained, Sif said, a well-deserved death. This only made Naruto growl with angry as he pinned Sif to the wall. You better retract that comment right now. Before Naruto could interrogate her more, two sand hands separated the two. Naruto, this isn't Sif's fault. I am sure there's a meaning behind this, Gaara said as he was defending Sif from Naruto's rage. It would seem a very powerful being is at work here, Thor said staring more at Amora's eyes. A being that controlled death itself, Hela. Naruto and company broke apart seeing an apparition of Hela appear when the Asgardian called out her name. You called dear Thunder God. You will return the one known as the Enchantress right now, Thor gripping his hammer. I will for the moment Asgardian, but I want something in exchange, Hela grinned. She possibly wants something from Odin's treasure room. Sif gripped her sword looking at Hela with glares that could startle lesser villains, but Hela wasn't fazed. I am not amused with Odin's little toys. What I want is far greater than that, she said pointing at Naruto.
Why me? Why am I so special? Naruto glared. You will learn soon enough, Hela said as she summoned a portal. Here is entrance to my realm. I only require a few hours alone with the one known as Naruto. No one else will be allowed in my realm or else I will send more of my army.
You were the one who framed Amora. Naruto gripped his hands feeling rage all inside his body. Yes. So come and save your lover or let her die. It will be most beneficial to me regardless of your choices. Hela smirked at Naruto. Be quick with your decision and don't keep me waiting. 4x after her apparition vanished, Naruto wasn't sure what to think. He was really worried about Amora, but he knew going into her realm alone would be a death sentence. I am confused. What is Niflheim? Gaara asked Sif who was still in Amora's cell overlooking Naruto, who was just approaching the portal. It is one of the forbidden places in all the 9 realms. It is the place of the dead and often spells certain doom for those who enter in it. Hela rules over the realm like a goddess. The only thing I am not so certain of is why she wants Naruto. For all I have seen, the only way he could be useful to her is in she mind controls him to do her bidding. Sif said staring blankly at Naruto. Well, I guess I will be off then, Naruto said before being stopped by Thor. Wait. I am not sure if it's wise for you to play into Hela's hands. You know it's a trap, Thor said. What other choice do I have, Thor? Naruto looked towards the swirling portal. She has Amora. If I don't do anything, then Amora will dead. You really care that much for her, Thor realizing Naruto's feelings for Amora. I know you have an idea of what I am going through, Thor. You would do the same thing if Jane was threatened at all. Naruto looks to Thor knowing he would get the same answer he was giving Thor. I have suffered through worse things. So, I would assume this would not be easy. I will just have to fight my way to Amora. Safe travels then my friend. Thor shook Naruto's hand before Naruto jumped through the portal into Niflheim. May Odin protect you on your journey, Thor said before the portal closed. 4x Naruto landed in Niflheim as he looked around seeing bones and a fog like mist surrounding the area. He looks around, okay Hela, I am here. Give me Amora right now. He searches the area trying to find of any hope that Amora would be around here somewhere as he sees floating spirits passing him. Unknown to the blonde-haired ninja, 3 angry spirits start to follow him. Hela smiled as she was looking through a crystal ball. Yes, Naruto come to me and we will both get what we want soon enough. Hela smirked as she started to laugh in a diabolical fashion. Naruto was racing from left to right in hopes of finding his beloved Amora. His heart was racing as well as he wasn't sure what was going on. He loved Amora a lot, but knew that this, Hela, was only trying to use Amora to get to him. Naruto angrily growled. I will not let you have her Hela, Naruto screamed. He raced seeing dead trees and souls passing by. At first glance, Naruto would be freaked out by the skeletons of his fallen comrades. However, the thought of Hela could be within the crowd of souls made Naruto approach them. The headstrong ninja searches through the pile of bones trying to find his love. He was searching amissly as he was like a parent who had just lost their child. His worries turned into fears as he felt pissed at Hela for doing this to him. Why was he so special? Did she want to use him against the beings of this world, or was there another version to this he wasn't seeing? He saw many souls were wailing towards him. He simply phased through them as they couldn't physically touch him. Suddenly, Naruto saw from the hilltop a bunch of wolves that were merely gazing at him. He saw the drool from their mouths in a glare that would send chills up his spine. He saw the wolves jumping down as they were as fast as Akamaru was. Naruto took out his kunai and prepares to strike every wolf that came towards him. The odds were too unfair for him. It was 1 on 20 as Naruto tried to destroy each and every wolf that came after him. 2 wolves bit his forearms, only for Naruto to push his arms forward and the wolves had to open their mouths to defend themselves. Muptile Shadow Clone Jutsu, Naruto called out to his clones, which 20 clones appeared. Rasengan, each clone, and Naruto declared summoning a spiraling blue ball. The wolves and Naruto's clones charged at one another to fight once more. 4x3 spirits started to make their way to Naruto's location as they sensed him entering Hella's world. "Were you able to locate him?" one of the spirits called out. "Yay. The wolves are distracting him long enough for us to find him," the other called out. "Yes. Very soon that shinobi will pay for leaving us behind," the final spirit said as his eyes turned red. 4x Naruto took off his shirt seeing his last clone defeating the remaining wolf. Naruto was exhausted as he knew Hila probably wanted him dead due to how the wolves were acting around him. "Oh gosh, this never ends," the blonde-haired ninja wiped the sweat from his forehead as he was making his way off the ground. Naruto looks around as he saw a throne which looked like Hila was there with what looked like Imora's soul. The ninja raced to his destination hoping that Imora would be safe. However, something blocked his path. He saw a wall building up from the ground as Naruto flipped backward and slid down a few feet from the wall. Naruto traces to find the source of the wallmaker lead him to stare at 3 figures that stood on the wall. Naruto saw the 3 figures drop down. At first appearance, Naruto couldn't tell who these 3 were. However, he got a good look at them, once they appeared in physical form. Naruto's eyes couldn't believe what he was looking at. The figure in the middle wore covering to cover his nose and mouth, but one of the eyes was badly scarred. He knew only person who this could have been. Kakashi-sensei. If Kakashi is here, then the 2 other figures must be, Naruto gulped. It was a reunion of the original Team 7. He saw to Kakashi's left and right was Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha. He smiled as he hugged them. "I am so glad to see you glad. I don't understand how did you guys escape the destruction of our world?" Naruto grinned upon seeing his old comrades again. "We didn't," Kakashi glared at him. "You left us to dead." Sakura shouted as she punched Naruto hard in the gut, then punched his cheek to give them proper spacing. Naruto flew back a little more before seeing Sasuke charging at him with the Chidori as his hand lit up to hurt Naruto. "You are going to pay for leaving us behind." "Oh crud," Naruto sighed before he kicks Sasuke away. "Guys, it's me Naruto, come on, you have to remember me," Naruto shouted to them. "We do, and we are going to kill you, so hold still," Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi announced before they started to charge at them. Naruto shielded himself as he wasn't sure how to defend against 3 of his friends. Suddenly, Naruto remembered something as he stood up and pulled out a shield. 4x Naruto, I know you have only been on the team for a few days, but I wanted to give this to you, Captain America told the young ninja as he handed the gift to him. "Thanks. How exactly do I use it?" Naruto gladly accepted the gift, and then questions its use. "When the time comes, you will know," Captain America told him. 4x Shield Rasengan. Naruto shouted as he poured some of his chakra into the shield as he proceeded to throw it against his 3 comrades. Each one were sent flying back when the shield hit them. Kakashi was the first to be hit as the impact from the shield created a burn-like pattern on his chest. It felt like Naruto had hit him with the Rasengan. Sakura was hit on the neck, which sent her flying as the shield created the same burn mark on her neck. She fell down and tried to hold on to the rock, yet the burn mark was causing her so much pain that it made her slip down to the floor. Sasuke channeled his chakra into his sword. When the shield came towards him, Sasuke blocked it with the sword. "Ha! You think that pathetic shield is going to save you?" Sasuke shouted. "Nope. But let's see you block this." Naruto summoned the shield back to him. The ninja swirls the shield around and flew it towards Sasuke. Like Kakashi-sensei used to say, "I won't fall for the same trick twice." Sasuke glares as he rushes toward Naruto intending to block the sword again. Sasuke smirked seeing the sword clashing with the shield. He prepares to cut into it as he channels his lighting into the sword.
Rasengan Shield. Chainsaw, Naruto shouted. Suddenly, Sasuke saw the shield lighting up red as he saw the shield making a chainsaw-like sound that clashed with his sword. Sparkles were visual as Sasuke tried to channel more of his chakra into the sword, however it was too late.
The shield had broken the sword and decapitated Sasuke, while it was at it. Sasuke was lucky that he was a spirit, or else that scene would have quite been mess. Naruto rushes to retrieve his shield when he felt a large shuriken hit his back as he turns to see Kakashi had thrown the large shuriken. Luckily, the injury wasn't too bad. Naruto removed it as he breathed heavily, looking at his former master. "I hope you didn't forget about me." "Of course not," Naruto called out. "I have taught you most of what I know, but you shall die now." "Lighting blade," Kakashi screamed as he held on to his hand, which lit up. Naruto picked up his shield as he saw Kakashi quickly approaching him. Naruto only enlarged the shield as it was about the size of him as he screamed, "Rasengan shield, knockback." Kakashi couldn't avoid it as his palm hit the large shield, only for a wave of chakra to completely shatter all of Kakashi as the lighting blade was used against him. Kakashi couldn't help but smile as he saw his student staring at him. Naruto's shield shrank down to its regular small size. He saw the rings of the shield to be red and white. He saw the blue circle had the image of a nine-tailed fox, to which he could only smirk. "I guess you are still looking out for me, old friend." Naruto had to leave the area as he knew the spirits of his deceased friends wouldn't stop there. 4x, Hila, Naruto shouted as he approached the throne of Hila as he saw two large wolves at her side. "Heal you too," Hila smiled to her dogs and then looks at Naruto. "Why, this is such a nice surprise for you to visit me." "Enough games, where is Amora?" Naruto glared as he approached her throne as he glares at her. "She is right here," Hila revealed the soul of Amora from her throne. Naruto tries to take the soul, only to be sent flying by Hela's magical barrier around Hela's spirit. "Whoops, did I forget to mention the barrier around her?" "Maybe that would have been something you could have mentioned to me," Naruto glares. "Calm yourself, Naruto. I will set Amora free if you give me something in return." Hila grins as she crosses her arms. "What exactly do you want with me? Do you want me to fight you? Do you want money? What do you wish from me?" Naruto shouted. "Well, I don't care about money. I could care less about it. I would kill you in a fight, and there is one true thing I wish from you." Hila listed her points. "Me as your servant," Naruto shivered. "As much as I would want the 9 realms stained by your blood, I think I require something else from you. Something only you can give me," Hila smirked. "What is that?" "I mean what I can offer you that you don't already have," Naruto asked her as it didn't make any sense of what she could want from him. "What I want from you is for you to bear me a child in whom I can use to rule the 9 realms, Hila grinned. "Wait, you want me to do what?" Naruto's eyes widen on her request. "I will make you a deal. Bear me a child and I shall free you and Amora from this realm." Hila smirks as she floats down to Naruto, offering her hand. "What do you say, Naruto?" Naruto knew the stakes that were involved. He knew Hila was really bad news and what was to come of this moment wasn't exactly going to be good, however Amora was at stake. Naruto sighed as he had no other option. He extends his hand. "I knew you would pick the right choice," Hila smirks as she rose Naruto up from where he stood and smirks. They vanished to her quarters to enact what she wanted from him. 4x Naruto breathed heavily as he stood on the bed, seeing the end result of what happened. He knew Hila was very disinterested on the motions that were carried out during this time. Naruto saw Hela's eyes as he probably will be the only person to see the eyes of Hila during this time. Naruto quickly changed into his clothes as he saw Hila approach him. He could tell she didn't care if he saw her naked or not. "We never speak of this moment," Naruto glared. "What, are you embarrassed of what just happened to us?" Hila playfully pouted. "I am taking Amora and leaving you," Naruto glared as he stops for a moment. "I want to be in this child's life. I will honor that wish. Your daughter will be the greatest end to all of the 9 realms," Hila smirked. Naruto knew that he probably spelled certain doom for all the 9 realms, but it was for a good cause. He took Amora's spirit as the shinobi sighed, knowing Odin would have words with him. He lifted her spirit in his arms as he saw Hila. Naruto glares as he needed to take care of his current problems. He would worry about Hila and his daughter in the future. After Naruto departed to Asgard, Hila smirks as she felt her stomach. "Very soon, my child, you will rule all of the 9 realms. Your father will see my side and join me someday." Thor, Gaara and Sif saw Naruto coming from the portal. Within the hands of the ninja held Amora's spirit. He saw her spirit flowing in his arms and sighs as he put the spirit back in her body. He hoped that Amora would feel better once he figured out how to attach Amora to her body. He knew Amora would be grateful for him saving her life, yet he knew he would suffer her wrath to understand what price he had to pay to get it back. He saw Amora struggling with her body and knew she just needed some rest. Gaara. I need you to make sure Amora gets better and call me when she wakes up, Naruto said to his friend. Understood, Gaara nods as he taking Amora in his sand, and rushes to the medical area with Sif. Thor, a guard, approached the two blondes. The All-Father wishes to have words with the young one. Oh boy, Naruto sighed knowing the reason of Odin's words. He knew this whenever he came back from his missions what the situation would yell at him for. 4x Naruto wishes he was being yelled at by Tsunade. At least she seemed less threatening. He felt like a child that has broken a vase with a baseball bat. He stared up at Odin, who knew what Naruto did in Niflheim. Naruto stood firm while the king of Asgard yelled at him. Do you realize the severity of your actions in Niflheim? Not only did you enter her realm unprepared for the dangers, not only did you enter her inner chambers, and not only did you deal poorly with her, you fathered a child that could as well destroy all of the 9 realms. Odin stood from his chair as he rubs his face with his hand. What was I supposed to do? Let Amora there to die. I love her and I wasn't going to stand by and watch her soul become trapped in that realm. I would have done anything to save her life. How was I supposed to prepare myself for what she had in store? No one informed me of what she was capable of. Besides, I was weakened by my loved ones. Even if I was at my full strength, I wouldn't have been a match for her. Naruto glared. What if your wife was trapped in that realm and your only option was to sleep with Hela? I would have defeated Hela without a thought or hesitation, Odin said, confronting Naruto's actions. I am sorry I don't possess this Odin force. There was nothing I could do. Besides the fact I was not at my best because my lover's soul was on the line. Naruto stood tall confronting the king. You better watch thyself, boy. You are dealing with a force not of your world. So trend on your current path lightly, Odin glared. Why do you fear this child if you feel she will be a threat to the 9 realms? Naruto looks to Odin. I have seen the birth of this child. I have seen the power that this little girl will wield. The powers of the dead as well as your own powers. A deadly combination will shatter the 9 realms. Each realm won't be able to handle the fury of your daughter, Odin said while closing his eyes. She will not even realize that she will destroy her own father. Naruto felt his body shaking at such a disastrous future. There has to be a way to stop my unborn daughter of this fate. If you can see her future, then there has to be another way. Does thou think I would be yelling at thee if I didn't know that? The fact of the matter is that your daughter needs to be destroyed. Odin stood up. This is your fault for bringing me to this realm. So if you were to blame anyone for this, then it's your fault. Naruto held his ground. Odin glared knowing Naruto was right, but he levitated Gungnir to his side. Naruto prepared for the worst. 4x, Naruto, Amora shouted holding the sheets in terror. She had an awful nightmare about Naruto confronting Odin. Her nightmare had ended when Naruto was killed by Odin. She turned to her side seeing Thor right next to her. Oh, it's you. Are you here to send me to have some Asgardian justice? No. I am here to look after you for the one called Naruto. Thor crossed his arms. Naruto, is he all right? Amora smiled but lowered her demeanor when she saw Thor looking at her. He fares well. He had saved your life while you were in Niflheim. Thor was on the chair looking over Amora. Oh, you know no Hela attacked Asgard huh? Amora brushed off some of her hair that was getting in her face. She viewed her body before looking back at Thor. The mortal cares for you. He had just confronted Hela on giving him your soul back. Thor felt it was heroic of Naruto to do so. You should have considered yourself lucky for Naruto's bravery and love for you. He cares a lot about me, doesn't he? That knucklehead. Amora blushed and shook her head. Well, I am glad to see you fare well. Thor looked at Amora. Thor, I know our past isn't a great one, but I want you to know that I am sorry for all the trouble that I have caused you. Amora stood up putting on her outfit with her magic. It is all right, Amora. I hope this means you stop your evil deeds, Thor said optimistically. Don't press your luck. Just because I am in love with Naruto, doesn't mean it will be enough to stop me, Amora smiled. Thor knew Amora was lying about it. He could tell she was having an internal struggle on if she should stop being evil or persuade Naruto to join her Masters of Evil. Thor hoped that wouldn't be the case. Amora looks to Thor knowing what he was thinking. If you are thinking that I am going to persuade Naruto into joining the Masters of Evil, then you have another thing coming. Imura looked at Thor. I might be evil, but I am not that twisted. Even if I wanted to, I am not going to use Naruto to hurt my enemies. I love him too much for that. So, Thor looked to Imura. I don't want Naruto to become involved with the Masters of Evil or the Avengers, Imura said, wishing for Naruto to be a neutral party. A few minutes goes by as Imura kept thinking about Naruto. Yet, she notices that the ninja wasn't around. Where is he exactly? Odin wanted to talk to him about what happened in Niflheim. This statement made Imura shiver with fear as her concerns were about Naruto's life being in danger. We have to go to the throne room now. Thor was about to use his hammer to carry them over there, but Imura used her magic to teleport herself and Thor to the throne room. Imura knew what Odin was capable of. Naruto wouldn't have enough strength to take on Odin by himself. Even if Naruto was at full power, Odin would crush Naruto as if he was an afterthought. 4x Thor and Imura met up with Gaara and Sif to the throne room, wondering what was going on. The doors opened the doors to the throne room. Imura had fear in her eyes to what she was witnessing. Naruto was badly beat while the All-Father didn't have a scar on him. Naruto was up on his feet to the last breath as he looked at Odin. I can still take you down. Rasengan, Naruto roared. He charged at the ruler of Asgard, only to be punched in the gut. His Rasengan disappeared as he dropped to the ground. Imura rushed to his side as she looked at Odin. It was just like those many years ago when he took her away from Naruto. She then heard Naruto's words of her name. Imura lifted his head to her lap as she giggled and then began to roar. What were you thinking? Odin is the All-Father and you think that you can just take him on by yourself. Look at yourself, you can barely stand and you think you can take him on. Thor looked shocked seeing Imura yelling at Naruto like a concerned wife. Sif smiled seeing that Imura was caring about someone other than herself. Gaara shook his head knowing of Naruto's stubborn attitude. Naruto coughed up a little bit as he looks at Imura. I could have taken him. Imura lifted him up in her arms and glares at Odin. She summoned a portal back to her lair. I am not done with him or you. Odin walked towards Imura putting down his spear and glared at the both of them. She glared knowing she was going to defy Asgard as she has always done. She teleported herself behind the spear's path and looked to the All-Father. Trust me, we are done. Imura said before disappearing with Naruto in her arms. The two walked to the portal as if nothing had happened to them. Thor, Gaara and Sif rushed over to Odin's side. Odin decided to let them go. They would have to settle with Hela sooner or later. 4x It had been a long day for the couple. Imura exited her portal as she was back into her bedroom as she took off Naruto's clothes to wash them. Imura knew she would clean Naruto's clothes with her magic and without the need to remove them, yet she took any advantage to see Naruto naked. She figured it was payback for the last time he saw her naked. She giggled exploring every inch of that body of his. How muscular his arms were, how his body was in such a tune, and even that last part, which seemed to pitch a tent, in her appearance. She had to know his thoughts. So, she put her fingers on his forehead and closed her eyes to see what he was thinking about. Her mind saw what he had gone through in the last couple of hours from when he entered Niflheim to when they left Asgard together. Her express went from happiness to being pissed as hell. She took her hand from his head and her fist growled in rage. This made her hands light up. Naruto yawned as he stretches his arms out and smiles, feeling a bit relaxed that he got some rest. He wanted to talk to Imura. He turns to his side and almost flew from his bed upon seeing her enraged face. Hi Imura, you look scary. Look, I wanted to talk to you about. Why are you mad? Did Thor say something to you again? Naruto asked. He saw his smile diminished when he saw her case a spell casing a stone to liquidity itself as Naruto gulped. Take this, you backstabbing Traitor, Imura screamed as Naruto ducked another attack from her. Back. Stabbing, trait, oh right. Naruto realized Imura's anger for Naruto sleeping with Hela. Naruto didn't care if he was naked, he had to run away from the enraged magical Asgardian. He busted out of the room in hopes of escaping Imura, who was in hot pursuit of him. The executioner looked from room to room seeing Naruto was being chased after by Imura, who wouldn't let him explain himself. The berserker smirked as he was glad that his mistress was ready to kill him for what Naruto has done. Why did you do that? Naruto called out seeing Imura trying to kill him. Imura, please let me explain, Naruto continued as he used his ninja skills to avoid her magic. A couple of hours ago, Naruto had to do all that he could to save Imora's soul. Even if it meant sleeping with another woman. Naruto clearly saw how enraged Imora was. He understood that she loved him and her current reaction is her broken heart. He ran into the room and was frozen by her magic as she finally caught up to him. Imora unfroze him and gripped him using her Asgardian strength. She was beyond pissed at Naruto. There was nothing more he could do to anger her. She glared as she hesitated to kill him. Naruto could see this was his chance to explain himself to her. You have 5 minutes to explain your actions and why you couldn't do anything else, Imora scowled as she waited upon his answer. Naruto was glad that Imora was giving him a chance to explain his actions. It was true that there could have been another way around it, but Naruto knew he needed to explain himself properly to her.
You see, you were floating by her throne, and no matter what I did, I couldn't fight my way to get to you. I was exhausted from fighting 3 ghosts of my former teammates. I had no other options to hear what she had to say. Believe me, if there was any other way, I would have done so. I love you, Imora. Naruto was gasping and was finally dropped when the Asgardian enchantress heard his last words.
You love me? Enchantress said as she fell backwards as she felt a grin went across her face hearing his confession and felt flattered. She never really expected how much he loved her. She had to take a moment to understand what was going on. I know it's sudden and we haven't had a chance to, Naruto said before getting hugged and kissed by Imora. I am sorry my love, I just thought seeing you and her really got me so mad. I should have realized that you wouldn't hurt me that way, Imora crossed her arms sitting back on her bed. You were jealous. Naruto said, if anyone is going to experience a moment of love and passion with you, it's me. The enchantress flirted as she stood up making her own clothes disappear as the 2 lovers were standing in her quarters naked. I see, little Naruto is standing tall. Naruto blushes trying to cover himself. Wait Imora. Imora wouldn't listen as she kisses his chest and travels down south. Naruto loved Imora a lot, but he could tell she was heading into a dangerous territory. Naruto was exhausted and as much as he would like to express his love for the Asgardian woman, he didn't want them going down a road they can never turn back from. The ninja yelled, no Imora pleases don't do this. Naruto felt she was almost there but he stopped her, pleases wait Imora. Frustration arose from the enchantress as she came back up to hear his hesitation and crossed her arms. Okay, what?
Naruto could tell from Imora's mood that she was mad. The ruler of Niflheim is about to sleep with you just like that. When I try to sleep with you, you stop me from doing so. Do I have to rule a realm in order to get in bed with you?
Imora. I do like you, but I want to get to know you better. I want to at least have a date with you before anything like this happens. It doesn't mean I don't like you, it's just things are complicated for me. I'm just confused about a lot of things lately and I don't think this situation could relieve me as much as you would think. Naruto looked at her. She snapped her fingers to summon back their clothes and turns away. Imora. Naruto put his hands on her shoulders. I love you, but I don't want to be a guy that mindlessly has his way with every single girl possible. I don't want our relationship being about mindless sex. I want to get to know you better. That is what separates you from Hila. That is why I love you more than I fear her. He turns her around and kisses her lips. Imora was enjoying the kiss very much as she felt her legs feeling soft. Naruto hanged on to her making sure she was in his arms. She couldn't help but feel protected despite the fact she was stronger than him. She was actually touched that there was something that separated the love between Naruto and her and Hila. She hated Hila at her core. How dare Hila sleep with the man she loved? So, let me get this straight. You want to put our love life on hold. Do this thing the mortals call dating and after we have gotten to know one another, then you want to move our relationship a step closer. Imora questioned as she blank looked at her lover.
Pretty much. Naruto nods in agreement. You better keep your word. I don't want to turn around and find you sleeping with some other woman. If you do, then nothing will keep me from destroying you until there is nothing left. Imora pointed her finger threatening the ninja.
Don't worry my love, I want to keep my every word of it. Naruto bows. Naruto bows down as he kisses Imora hoping she would buy his hopes of getting closer to her. Naruto did love Imora and someday hopes to marry the Asgardian sorceress, however he didn't want to move the relationship too fast. He didn't want their relationship to just be intimate. He wanted to know who Imora was on an emotional scale. He wanted to know why she really liked him. He wanted to learn everything about her. Well, I am going to use the shower and I need someone to keep me company. So, keep me company in the water, she said, picking up Naruto's hands, leading him seductively into the bathroom. Where are we going? Naruto asked nervously. We are bathing together, Imura winked. Wait, Imura. I don't think I am ready for this. Naruto freaked out as he tries to escape her grasp. Naruto, it's not like you haven't seen me naked before, besides I know you don't hate seeing me that way. I do believe something in your pants made you react to me, Imura winks and smiles at Naruto. That was completely different, Naruto blushes. Regardless of it, someday we are going to be intimate, so that means we will see one another naked, Imura looks to him with seriousness in her heart. I am rather looking forward to it actually, Imura thought as she looked up and down imaging Naruto's body and licked her lips. Fine. But no funny business, Imura, Naruto glared. Alright, if that is what you wish, my love, the enchantress bringing him inside the bathroom to wash themselves down. Ah. Naruto ran out of the bathroom a few minutes later as he sat on the bed wearing a towel and breathing heavily. I don't see the big deal. So we gave into our passion and almost had sex in the water. Imura grinned as she was thinking of the moment that happened a few minutes ago. I said I wanted to wait. Naruto crossed his arms looking down. Oh, not this again, Imura glared. Do I have to steal a soul for you to do it with me? No. I just want to do this right. Am I just a plaything to you? Naruto sighed before he looked at her once more. If I wanted a relationship to be based on that, I would be with Hila then. Imura knew that Naruto didn't like Hila and began to see more of why their relationship was much different than his relationship with Hila. You really love me, don't you? Yes, and I know you love me as well. He kisses Imura by surprise, but she grins in the kiss, taking her hands into his cheeks. Naruto yawns as he looks at her. I guess we should get some sleep then.
Yes, my love, we shall. Naruto and Imura both turned in for the night as Imura viewed the man that was slowly becoming her lover. He had such an approach to life that she didn't understand. She looked to him, seeing his blonde hair was just as she remembered it. She was grateful for him saving her life. He even fought the All-Father just to justify his love for her. Imura wasn't sure how to repay him except for her loyalty to him, that in a night of passion and romance.
Imura turns to see he was fast asleep and heard his whispers of loving her. She couldn't help but feel loved that someone else loved her without her controlling them. She touched Naruto's head and giggled. She wasn't sure why, but she didn't want to use her magic on him at all. Only when he needed help that she would help him back.
The Asgardian witch relaxed on the bed, thinking of a future where their children tucked into the beds. Having the executioner watching over them while Naruto and Imura spend their nights in the room Imura crafted for them. She would lay in bed while Naruto would be giving her the best night of her life. A sensation that would enlighten her core and having her melt in his passion. The screams she would give out would proper break her vocal cords.
Imura sighed lovingly as she knew she was in love with him, her shining shinobi, her true love.
The ninja stretched his body, viewing the morning sun that shined in his bedroom. He rose up, wondering why he was back in his room. Was it all a dream? There was some aspects that hoped that what Naruto envisioned was a dream. He smiled but felt a note touch the tip of his fingers. Curious, Naruto opened the note, seeing who it was from. He smiled and began to read the letter. Dear Naruto, I teleported you back to your room as I have accepted your offer upon this silly nonsense you wish to win my heart. There is no real point of us doing this trial mortal ideal called a date, but I shall respect your wishes. You know the way I feel about you is the same way you feel about me. However, in return, I expect you to put as much effort into this date as I am.
Naruto laughed as he could tell Imura wasn't too thrilled on the idea of waiting for the moment between them to happen. He reads on. So, I hope we spend a few hours getting ready for the night. By the time this night ends, both of our lives will change forever. I love you more than life itself. I would give up my immortality if it meant being with you forever. I will always love you. Make no mistake about that. Love, Imura, you better show up at this location or I will find you myself. If I so much as see or hear you are with another woman, I will make sure you know a fate worse than death. Naruto put down the note as he was glad that he wasn't a womanizer. Otherwise, Imura would think of newer ways to torture him. He needed to be prepared tonight and made his way into his closet to pick out something nice. He noticed quickly he didn't have too many 2x's. Actually, his tux number was 0. He sighed as he shook his head. Are you alright, Naruto? The AI known as Jarvis called out in Naruto's room. I am fine, Jarvis. I am just preparing for a date tonight and I noticed I really don't have any clothing appropriate for that type of situation. Naruto said, feeling awkward about talking to no one in the room. Well, Mr. Stark did give you enough money for clothes. I can suggest a clothing store that sells suits at a decent price. Jarvis scanned the city to do just that. Thanks, Jarvis. Naruto smiled, seeing a card pop out. He guessed it must contain the money he will need to buy something nice to wear.
Amora was getting ready for the night as she had put out a dress she found in her closet. She couldn't believe she was going through with this boring display the mortals called dating. Yet, she wasn't going to force herself on Naruto. If she wanted to win his heart, she would do it his way. Though, she would rather have them make love to every night. Least that way she would enjoy his company just a bit more. She knew it was quite in her lair as she sent the executioner on a trip for Baron Zemo. He has become quite the persistent mortal lately, wanting to know where she is and why isn't her mind on world conquest. Amora would usually ignore or tell him it's not any of his business. Besides, the only thing Zemo would send her on is boring missions to retrieve items for him. It was something Zemo could send Crimson Dynamo or the Abomination to do. Her roles on being a villain lessened when it came to Naruto. He saved her life, so it would be naturally she would want to make him happy. Yet, something about him made her think the world about him. He became her first and only priority. She was so fixated on him, that she wonders if she should continue to remain a villain. She couldn't care less as she shook her memories away from her.
She looked at her dress and smiled, hugging it, and felt that it was just the dress to wear on her date with Naruto. He hoped that their relationship become more than just mutual romantic feelings for one another. Naruto reached the clothing store in time. The blonde-haired shinobi looked around, hoping to find a nice suit that would fit him and also attract Amora. He did love her and wanted to do anything he could to at least impress her. It was understandable the Amora didn't show much interest in mortals, yet Naruto was somehow the exception. When he got into the store, he saw that there were miles upon miles of different suits to try on. It was too hard for Naruto to pick which one would impress Amora. He grabbed a bunch and walked over to a changing area to pick out the best one. Naruto's thoughts were also upon what would happen after the date was finished. He had promised Amora that they would sleep together. He felt ashamed of himself after he slept with Hila, who was currently probably picking out the name of his little girl. Naruto focused his mind on Amora. He took off one suit only to put on another. Nah, not good enough, he said, dismissing the suit. Naruto gulped as he kept thinking about the moment the two could share. From the heated kissing to the intense moment in the bed the two could share. He suddenly pushes his dirty thoughts out of his mind. When he came back to reality, he saw that he only had one suit left to pick out. He smiled, seeing the last choice was the right choice. He uncovered the suit and bushes, finding he was staring at how his dirty thoughts of Amora affected him. Oh, you can't think about her name and you react, Naruto moaned to himself, not wanting to be lured into Amora's trap so easily. Naruto brought with him the tux that he had tried on and puts it down on the counter to buy. That will be $430, sir. The cashier smiled. Naruto was about to grab the credit card, when he noticed that it was missing. He quickly panicked, trying to find the darn card that he could have sworn was in his pocket. Excuse me, sir. You seem to have dropped this, the stranger said in a German accent, handing Naruto the card. Oh, thank goodness you found it. I am thankful for you, sir. Naruto smiled, seeing the man was talking through a purple mask and only saw his eyes. You must be careful. You don't know who to trust in this city. The stranger looked like he was smiling. Yeah, you said it, pal. Naruto paid for the suit and paid for whatever the stranger needed. Once the two walked out of the store, Naruto shook hands with the stranger. He felt there was something off about him, but nonchalantly passed it over. Thanks for finding my card. I would have been dead if I had lost it or if it was stolen. Do not mention it. I was just glad I noticed it first, the stranger nods. Thanks. Naruto checks the time. Oh shoot, I am going to be late. I thank you for the help, mister. Naruto realized he didn't know the name of the person that rescued his credit card. You can just call me Zemo, the stranger known as Zemo grinned. Well, thanks for everything. Naruto waved goodbye to Zemo. No, thank you. Zemo smiled as he walked into the shadows. Naruto was able to find the restaurant with time to spare. He had a suit on, his hair was cut by a small portion, and he took a shower to smell nice for his date with the Asgardian sorceress. He had taken great note that Amora wasn't here. However, the blonde-haired ninja knew he would wait for a while, seeing Imura probably wanted to dress up for him. Naruto walked around and practiced what he was going to tell her during their date. Imura materialized across the street overlooking at Naruto, seeing how much a fool he was making. She giggled seeing how much he was bagging on himself, that he was trying too hard. The Asgardian sorceress rubbed her dress, making sure she got out the wrinkles of it. Much like her attire, her dress was green with some shades of gold. It was a strapless dress and fixed her cleavage, allowing some of her flirty nature to drag out of her. Her dress came down to her knees and smiled, hoping to attract Naruto's attention to her body, yet it would have been better to not wearing anything at all. "So, this is how you spend your days now," a voice called from the shadows. Imura backed up as she knew whose voice that belonged to. "Ah, Zemo, it seems your persistent knows no bounds." Baron Zemo stepped from the shadows as he simply glared at the blonde-haired Asgardian woman. "Well, as the leader of the Masters of Evil, I have to check on all of my members." "What do you want, Zemo?" Imura glared, looking at the mortal that was wasting her time. "I want to know why you haven't been in contact as of late." "I can clearly see why." Zemo shook his head and viewed Naruto. "What I do with my time is my business. I have sent the executioner to retrieve whatever you needed. I will report whenever I want." Imura yawned. She was about to turn back, when Zemo smirked. "I wonder why this blonde-haired mortal has captured your attention." Imura turns around, hearing the conversation shifted to her love life. "If you are referring to my date, it is none of your business. What I do with my life isn't a concern to you." "Imura, my dear," Zemo touched her chin, which she sharply pulled away from him. "When your loyalty is being questioned, that mortal becomes my business." "Don't you dare touch me, mortal," Imura glared. "I don't see why Naruto should be your business. He is an outworlder and doesn't know about the Masters of Evil." "Well, he is friends with the Avengers. That makes him my enemy." Zemo crossed his arms. "He has nothing to do with this. Leave him out of it." Imura darted her eyes. "I don't want him harmed." "I see clearly you hold strong feelings for this, Naruto." Zemo smiled. It would be too horrible to witness anything horrible happening to him. Imura wondering what he was talking about. She then looked over, seeing a laser pointed at his head. This made the Asgardian witch glare at him. She then pinned Zemo to the wall. "You get that away from him right now." Her mood was livid as she poured her magic into her free hand. "I don't believe you are in position of making threats, Imura." Zemo glared, seeing the laser was still pointed at Naruto. "What do you want from me? You have 3 seconds before I put a hole in you." Imura wanted to hurt Zemo badly. "Release me right now, or else Naruto won't have much to think about." Zemo looked at her. Imura's rage suddenly realized that Naruto was still in danger. She had no choice but to release him. Zemo coughed as Imura was still glaring at him. "What do you want from me?" Imura looked at Zemo. "Well, I am glad I have your attention." Zemo smirked as he stood up. "I need for you to retrieve one thing for me. If you can do that, Naruto will not be harmed." Imura looked at Naruto and sadly nodded. "Fine, but if Naruto is harmed, my fury will hunt you down and I will make sure there is nothing left of you." "Well, I thank you for that. I will be sure to be aware of it when the time comes." Zemo smirked. "Have fun on your date." Imura walked over with fear in her mind. She was too concerned over Naruto's well-being. Was Zemo really holding one over her this time? She knew Zemo was capable of many things, yet this wasn't a theory she was willing to test. So, she shall play this mortal's game for the moment. "Oh, there you are. I thought I would have to eat by myself." Naruto laughed upon seeing Imura. As she would suspect, Naruto's body did respond to her dress. However, she could feel his muscles in his suit. Her body tried to contain herself, but Imura simply kissed Naruto to show her affections. "Guess it was just finally getting to see you." Imura smiled. "It's okay, I am really hungry. Shall we go inside and eat?" Naruto smiled. "Sure, my love." Imura let out a small smile. Naruto hooked himself to Imura, bringing her inside to eat. Imura was still in fear of losing him. She knew Naruto was a capable warrior, yet if she lost him, she wasn't sure how she would live with herself or how the world would be after her rage would become known. Naruto could sense something was troubling Imura. He stopped for a moment. "Is everything all right, Imura?" Naruto asked her. "Yay, everything is fine." Imura faked a smile. Naruto's nod made him convinced that she was fine, but something told him that everything was not all right. He ignored it. "Yay, Everything's fine. Amora looked away, fearing what could happen to him would be all her fault. Everything all right, Amora? Naruto said with concern.
Ever since they have entered the restaurant, Naruto noticed Amora was frequently looking at him in a way of concern. He didn't mind Amora's revealing concerns, it was just that Naruto noticed her mood had changed. Amora never acted so nervous before.
Yes, it is my love, Amora lied. Amora knew Zemo was up to something. Why couldn't that mortal just leave Naruto out of it like she wanted? Damn him, Amora thought as she looked towards Naruto, as he was her main focus for tonight. Yet, Zemo's threats kept the Asgardian at bay.
As the couple drank their water, they each pondered on what to do. Nothing was happening. No words were being said. Each second was a struggle on what the other should say. Both of the blondes were outgoing, yet being in the presences of one another caused them to shut them in. Amora was scared that Naruto could be harmed because of her. Naruto was afraid of saying something ridiculous could hurt Amora. Naruto needed to say something. This date was his idea after all. Naruto's eyes lingered towards Amora's body. He knew it wasn't polite on staring at a female's body for so long, yet Naruto wanted to touch every part of Amora's body. He wanted to kiss her lips, touch her soft skin, and even do things that he would have never thought of before. Naruto looked at Amora.
I guess this restaurant is taking so long with getting our dinner. Naruto tried to let out a laugh, but could tell that his humor wasn't helping the situation. Amora could tell that he was trying to brighten up the date, and felt she should have fun while they were still together. Ha 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 ha. She laughed just to pity Naruto not wanting to allow her love to make a fool of him in her presence. Amora looked at how calm Naruto was becoming. Naruto saw the waiter coming over to them and asked for their order. After the waiter took the request of food for the night, Naruto smiles at Amora. So, tell me a bit more about yourself. Naruto deciding to break the ice on the situation. Well, what is it you wish to know? Amora answered him. Tell me about yourself? Did you have any parents or any siblings like that? Naruto nods to her. Well, I did have a mother and father once, Amora said.
She didn't expect Naruto to ask about her family. They spoke about their ambitions when they were children. Amora began to tell Naruto of her mother and father and her upbringing. Her parents pushing her to be a strong Asgardian. Amora resented them for they were always strict and never allowing her to have a dating life. Her family fought in a war and Amora had waited for them to come home. However, an Asgardian soldier told her the bad news. Her parents were never coming home. Naruto felt terrible. Unlike Amora, he never got the chance to be raised by parents. He never felt the encouragement that parents gave their children. Yet, Naruto did get a chance to meet them. He told the Asgardian sorceress about how he met his mother while training. He then told her the circumstances that led him come to her universe. The couple talked throughout the 2 hours, sharing stories and talking about their lives. Amora was fascinated by Naruto's many missions in his world, while Naruto heard many of the magical tales Amora shared. However, Naruto noticed that Amora felt ashamed when she shared about the times when she was evil and against the world.
It's okay, Amora, I understand. We all have our moments of our dark side. Naruto sighed at the very thought of it. I am not ashamed of being with a former villain. Amora felt rather glad that Naruto didn't view her like most of the people from Midgard. Amora was about to grab the last piece of bread that was on the table, when Naruto's hand had touched hers at the same time. Both couples blushed at the very warmness of their hands. I am sorry, you can have it. Naruto offered the bread to her. No, you are hungrier than I am. You can have the bread, Amora tried to get a word in. Naruto knew a way of breaking this dilemma. He simply broke the bread in half and gave Amora a piece of the bread. The Asgardian smiled as she bit off the piece of bread and smiled. More and more, Amora felt special being in Naruto's company.
He was so selfless to half the bread to her. Amora never felt this way towards any mortal before. This was far beyond anything she could feel for anyone. Amora looked into his eyes, his blue eyes that offered her comfort. Those eyes of his that kept telling her to venture forth. Those eyes that offered a way that she could live again. The eyes of her lover that told her that he was in love with her and that they were going to be together forever.
Amora knew the truth. If she didn't claim him as hers, then Naruto would find a new love to follow. Amora knew what Naruto had done for her, and she has yet to repay him for his kindness. They weren't even dating yet, and Amora still felt jealous. He didn't want Naruto to end up with Hila. If I wanted that kind of relationship, I would have been with Hila. Imura's thoughts went back to Naruto's words. Those words were the final declaration that Naruto was just in love with her as she was in love with him. She had to tell him. She had to tell him all about how she felt. She needed to say what she had to say, or else Naruto would become lost. Naruto Uzumaki, I love you. Imura yelled out her declaration of love. Naruto smiled as he wasn't as taken back to her confession. I know, and I love you too. Naruto kissed her cheek and drank some water. I don't think you understand. I have fallen in love with you. I have realized ever since my eyes met yours all those years ago, that we were meant to be together.
I think I don't love you as a friend. I think I love you more as my soulmate. I am sorry if I have been very abrasive lately. But, I want you to know I love you and I think we should be together. Imura blushes looking into his eyes. She wanted him, yet she was afraid that Naruto wouldn't feel the same way. She was afraid that her confession was too soon. She was afraid that Naruto wouldn't accept her as his lover.
Imura's fears were soon put to rest when the blonde-haired ninja, who was her date, had kissed her lips. Imura felt her lips were heating up as she held him closer. Naruto smiled, feeling his lips were interlocking with hers. As soon as Naruto pulled from the precious moment, he gave her an answer. I would love to be your boyfriend, Imura, Naruto told her with a smile. After the meet the two had, Imura was walking with Naruto to the park. In the loud streets of New York, Naruto was glad to seem some place wasn't as loud as he would have perceived. Naruto was surprised that he could now call Imura his girlfriend. Yet, Naruto was a man of his word. He knew Imura's thoughts would be to spend the night together. So, the ninja was properly prepared for what Imura had to throw at him. It's a beautiful night, Imura grinned as she cuddled up with Naruto on a park bench. Yay, Naruto nods. This quickly got Imura's attention. Something troubles you, my love? Imura asked with concern. It's nothing. It's just that this night has been very perfect. I can't want to get you home and into my arms. Naruto looked at her. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. Imura sighed as she hated what she was about to say.
Naruto noticed that she stood up. I actually want to hold off on that type of relationship. Like you said, you want to love the real me. I would have made you love me, but it seems that has happened all on its own. Forcing you to do that with me would be very difficult, especially on our relationship. That doesn't mean I won't want to make love to you. I just want to wait a little. Let our relationship develop before succumbing to our desires.
Naruto smiled, seeing that Imura changed her mind about the night. He saw her summoning a portal. Until the next time, my love. Naruto kisses her lips and watched her leave to the portal. I will go with you tomorrow. I will spend the night at the Avengers Mansion. Imura understood Naruto's wishes and closed the portal to let him have his way. Yet, she couldn't help but feel something was amiss. She looked all over trying to find a particular Asgardian. Her executioner wasn't around. Naruto, meanwhile, was enjoying the view of the moon while he was overthinking all that has happened during the night. Naruto smiled as he didn't notice the danger that was right beside him. Naruto didn't notice that the executioner lifting his axe preparing to cut apart the young shinobi for stealing his lover. Imura, who he had fallen in love with, was taken away from him by this shrimp of a little ninja, who couldn't even fight Imura on his own. Naruto felt the rain hitting him as he looked up. Ah, I see it's raining, Naruto said, feeling the rain hitting him. Naruto was about to make his way home when he heard metal being hit with the rainwater. He turns to hear it was coming from behind him. Naruto's eyes soon discovered that the executioner was glaring at him. He must have witnessed me and Imura becoming a couple, Naruto thought as he saw the incoming axe preparing to swing at him. Where does Imura find these guys? Naruto mind told him as he dodged the axe which was stuck on the ground. The executioner punched Naruto in the face. Naruto was in for the fight of his life. Naruto was trying his best to dodge all the incoming attacks of the executioner. Despite how large the villain was, he was able to catch up to Naruto. Naruto looked at the executioner using a combination of swinging his axe and using his fists to combat the ninja. Naruto knew that talking wouldn't help in his situation. However, he did still have his techniques. Shadow Clone Jutsu, Naruto roared as he glared at the villain, along with 4 other copies.
3 copies of Naruto ran towards the executioner while the 2 stood by making more copies for the executioner to target. The more Naruto that were showing up, the more stamina the executioner began to lose.
Naruto soon realized that not even 100 of his clones could take down the Asgardian standing before him. Naruto was trying to think of a plan, but the executioner rushed forward, hitting Naruto in the chest with his fist. He soared a few yards from where he was into a pond. Naruto felt the wet clothes seeing the executioner was still coming. Look, I understand that you are not happy with me and Amora dating, but that doesn't mean you should fight me for her, Naruto said. Do you think that Amora will love you after the way you were beating up her boyfriend? The executioner stopped for a moment, before he started to charge and yell at him, "Ah!" Naruto moved out of the way and rushed towards him with his palm, Rasengan. Overlooking the battle, Zemo was smiling in his mask. He heard the sound of another person standing behind him. What is it, Dynamo? Zemo said, looking at the mechanical crimson member of the Masters of Evil. Why is the executioner fighting some human? Dynamo asked. This is no ordinary human. This is a traveler from another world. A person who Amora has been hiding from this group. Zemo watched the battle from the hill. Won't Amora be pissed that you are using the executioner to take out her boyfriend? Dynamo looked at the battle as well. Not if she thinks that the Avengers become involved somehow, Zemo grinned. The executioner was looking inside the bathroom, seeing Amora and Naruto showering together as he shook his head and glared. It seems there is trouble in paradise, Zemo said, walking towards the executioner. The Asgardian took his axe and glared at Zemo. Zemo stood still and looked up at him. The boy has taken something that is yours. I only assume you want what is yours again, Zemo exclaimed. The executioner looked at him and then heard the happiness of the couple. She has replaced you with someone who shouldn't even exist in this world. I think we can help one another in this situation. How about a deal? You give me this, Naruto, and I will make sure Amora is yours. The executioner looked at Amora and Naruto making out in the shower. This only enraged the executioner and nods his head at Zemo. Here is what you are going to do. Zemo started to explain his plan to the executioner. The executioner kept swinging his axe at the ninja as he kept dodging his swing. When the executioner put it down, he made his way of striking Naruto whenever he could. Naruto was taking most of the hits the executioner was giving him. Naruto said as he flew back. Shadow Clone Jutsu. 4 Naruto came out of the smoke as they each tried to subdue the executioner. However, one by one the Naruto disappeared by the executioner's fist. When the brute turned towards the real Naruto, he noticed the boy had another technique in his hands. Rasen Shuriken. It was too late as the executioner took the full hit of the blast. It set him flying away from the battle. Naruto gasped as he took to the ground, feeling how much energy he had wasted during the battle. He was tired and he felt out of breath.
I need to train more often, Naruto said. Suddenly, Naruto felt the back of his neck being hit by some purple ghost. Naruto was sent flying as he saw a crimson robot blasting him towards a tree. Naruto took the hit of the tree as he fell down to the ground. Naruto noticed a man wearing a purple mask had swung his sword, hitting him across the face.
Naruto would have gotten up, but he felt the sword swing had something in it. Naruto went out like a light. A good sleeping agent, Zemo smirked. He should be waking up in a few hours. Dynamo, can you do me a favor and go fetch the executioner? Dynamo glared as he did what he was told. After Dynamo left, a squad of green soldier marched towards Zemo and Wonderman. Zemo, do you have him? One of the soldiers asked. Here he is, don't underestimate him. Zemo looked to them. Dynamo came back with Executioner, who was sporting a giant wound on his chest. Here he is, sir, though I don't think he will be fighting for a while. Good. All is going exactly how I want it, Zemo smirked. You and Wonderman go back to the base. Executioner, I need you to come with me for a moment.
Amora smiled as she used her magic to get her out of the dress and in her normal attire. Amora was able to sleep the night away, when she noticed a portal opening up to her chambers. The Asgardian quickly cleaned up her room and sat down on a chair looking to her visitor. Yet, Amora's smile dimmed down when she noticed who it was.
Were you expecting your blonde-haired knight in shining armor? Zemo said as the executioner came behind him holding his wound. What happened? Amora came towards Zemo and helped the executioner to the ground.
The executioner and your love were under attack, Zemo exclaimed. They knocked out the executioner and captured the one called Naruto.
Imura glared as she crossed her arms. You expect me to believe that story?
Well, how do you explain this? Zemo gave Imura a shred of clothing. The Asgardian quickly noticed that it was the same suit Naruto wore tonight.
The Avengers attacked Naruto and Executioner. They felt Naruto was a spy and traitor, so they turned on him. Zemo looked down at the Enchantress, who was trying to take in all that he had said. How? Imura was trying to understand all that was happening. I would suggest a full amount to rescue him. I only need you and the Executioner at your best, to take out our worst enemies. Zemo offered his hand to her. Imura glared as he looked at Zemo as she couldn't believe the Avengers would do such a thing. I will agree. Where am I? Naruto was thinking as he saw that he woke up in a strange green liquid being overlooked by a bunch of green soldiers and saw a strange dark-haired woman looking at him. Arnim Zola. How is he doing? The villainess looked at Naruto. Remarkable. I mean, this boy is simply remarkable. The machine with his face on his chest smiled. A lot of experimentation wouldn't do it justice. You think that he is worthy to be weaponized? The villainess looked at Zola with a serious face. Oh, I think we can do much better than weaponizing this boy. I think there is so much more we can do with him. Zola smirked.
You better hope so, Zola. Strucker expects results. The villainess stares at him. I know Viper, and he will get results. Zola typed on a pad, while he saw Viper leaving. Hail Hydra, she said, leaving the room. Now, tell me, boy, how do you feel about mind control? Zola smiled, seeing Naruto in fear of who these guys were. The end. Remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.